Hi everyone, it's Sunday night. How you doing? What a show. 4 games happening in the Premier League tonight. That includes Sunderland up against Newcastle. Before we do anything, let's get an update for you. Here's Tom McGarry.
Sunderland 1, Newcastle 0 at half-time. Newcastle dominated most of the first half. Mitrovic had a header go just wide of the target. Jack Colback's volley was well saved by Bantilimon. Wijnaldum's had a free kick tipped over by the Romanian stopper as well. But the main drama happened right at the interval. Sunderland given the lead in controversial circumstances. Colaccini sent off for giving away a penalty for a foul on Fletcher. Looked very harsh. The referee, Bobby Madley, gave the decision. Upset Adam Johnson. 1-0 to Sunderland. And that's how it stayed at break. Sunderland 1, Newcastle 0.
Thank you very much, Tom. Looking forward to the second half there. We still have 3 more games on the way as well. We build up to Bournemouth against Tottenham, the Manchester derby, Liverpool against Southampton. You can see why in the UK they're calling it the Day of Destiny. We'll have team news for you, predictions and stats all the way. My special co-host today, both organisers of leagues in Singapore, Stranger Soccer's Harrison Lim and Andrew Gang join us, as well as ESP Zen's programme director and former first team analyst for Liverpool FC. It's James Gow. We find out all about the Singapore football scene and then some. The chairman of the Merlion Youth League, Kai, joins us in the studio. He'll reveal how he sent some players up to KL to perform in a trial match and how some of those boys got on. We review every single Premier League game last night. We hear from fans in Singapore and beyond who are mad about Chelsea, West Ham, Swansea, Arsenal, Everton too. We also hear from every Premier League manager, well, almost, because Jose Mourinho is not talking to the press. Chelsea fans, are even suggesting that the goal line technology is biased against them now. We take a look back at the action yesterday. We also have a Manchester United quiz on the way, just because my 2 co-hosts today said, we are die-hard Manchester United fans, and if anybody says that to me, I come up with a quiz and put your knowledge to the test. It is, yeah. Also on the way, we find out about the Specialist Academy at ESP Zen. We find out how you can play football, even if it's last minute and even if you have no one to play against. There's European football. Nicholas Lim has all the stats you need ahead of 2 big games tonight. Intern Joel is in the production studio too, so if anything goes wrong, we can blame him. If you've got something to say, drop Nicholas a line actually. Nicholas at redcardglobal.com. There's WTA finals happening in Singapore. Were you there? I'd love to hear from you. European football last night. Bayern Munich continuing that super win. Rugby World Cup semi-finals. Did you watch that last night? Are you looking forward to Australia against Scotland? Sad day for football too. Sad day for grassroots football. A friend of the station, friend of mine, Eddie Sepulveda, sadly passed away today. We dedicate this show to him. He was a man who dedicated his life to grassroots football. On the show today, Harrison Lim, Andrew Gann. Hi, guys.
Good to be here.
Great to be here.
Great to see you too. On debut, we find out a little bit more about you. Harrison, your position, your current job?
Well, I'm in charge of marketing over at Stranger Soccer, and basically what I do is I manage the various social media platforms and channels, and so stuff like Instagram, Facebook. It's a real challenge keeping up with social media in Singapore, to be honest, because the landscape is constantly changing.
You're on Vine, you're on Periscope, you're on Snapchat, you're on
a bunch of places for sure. A bunch of places, yeah.
I've got to say that the nicest smelling guest we've had on the show.
Thank you. Thank you very much. It wouldn't be the first time someone said that to me. So.
And the coolest as well. Andrew Gang, the co-founder of Stranger Soccer, is here. Hi, Andrew.
Great to see you guys. I'm really honoured to be on this show today. So, Stranger Soccer is really a good platform for people to actually play soccer if you can't get enough players to play with. So, we have connected almost people from up to 47 nationalities that are playing with us. So we look forward to actually whoever wants to kick a ball, wants to play a game, can simply log into the website and just join the game.
And you're a big Manchester United fan, right?
Since the Cantona era, I would say so.
Yeah, good player, eh?
Yeah, definitely.
Look at James Gow, Liverpool fan, shaking his head. How are you, How are you, James?
I'm good, thanks for having me back.
Yeah, good. You came on as a guest last time, talking about ESP Zen, and obviously your knowledge of football is second to none, son, so we got you back on.
Thanks for that.
How's your week been?
It's been good, yeah. We had to call a couple of games after today, which was a nuisance, but other than that...
Well, it's happening all over the shop and it's affecting everybody. Exactly. We had Harvey Davis in from JWSL last night, and it's affecting... Jörg Steinbrunner was on last night, again an international coach. His game was called off over the weekend as well. Yeah. Plus the Sultan of Selangor Cup last night, called off. All those 1,200 Singapore fans travelling up there. Had to turn round.
The sooner it goes, the better. But hopefully it'll go soon.
They're saying it's going to go into the new year now, aren't they, Harrison?
Yeah. Apparently they're not playing a lot of football in the Philippines either, because the Hayes has travelled there as well. So yeah, it's basically pretty bad all around.
Pretty bad for Newcastle as well. They find themselves a goal down and a man down against Sunderland, just kicking off into the second half now. James, you've been keeping an eye on this game. How harsh was that sending off with Colaccini seeing red?
I think it's a difficult one for the for the referee, because initially it's poor positioning from Colaccini, but he's come back across as a through ball has gone through, and he's gone shoulder to shoulder with Fletcher. I think because of the impact that he's had on Fletcher, and Fletcher's gone over, I think that's why they've given it. Whether Fletcher would have gone to the ball is debatable, but the referee's called him last man and he sent him off.
Alan Bentley is also a Scouser, and he's also on the line from the UK. Hi, Al.
Hi, Andy. How are you?
Yeah, all is good. Yesterday you were going to a fancy cocktail party. How did that work out for you, being International Champagne Day?
Yes, it was very good, thank you, Andy. But as I'm sure you guess, I didn't overindulge. It was a nice afternoon, though, but there you go.
Any famous footballers heading the way of Deborah's?
No, not yesterday. I suppose it was the week before, because the international break, that there were a couple of guys there, including, as I keep mentioning, Jermaine Defoe, who is now on the pitch up at the Stadium of Light. I could just tell you, by the way, Newcastle are a massive price in this one, and arguably they had the better of the first half. You can get them at almost 20-1 in play, Andy, so I wouldn't rule them out of this one.
Tim Sherwood, the big news is that Aston Villa has sacked their manager after 8 months, and Al, he was the heavy favourite, I'm right in saying, to be sacked next?
Yeah, he was. He was long odds on before yesterday, and it just made matters worse, the result against Swansea. I think all eyes now are on Mr. Mourinho, and I'm sure you'll be touching on him throughout the course of the day. He's 7-2 to go before next weekend's game against Liverpool, but it was no surprise that Sherwood went. The big question now is who's going to take over?
Well, it means that the under-21 manager Kevin McDonald has been placed in interim charge. Sherwood just oversaw 28 games. What price would David Moyes be, Al?
Well, you know, he's not entirely happy over in Spain. I'll just check the prices for you in a tick, Andy, but Moisey would be up there. Of course, you've got Brendan Rodgers now out of a job as well. He'll be looking to get back in as soon as humanly possible. But I think Moisey is the early favourite. There was talk of him going to Germany over the course of the summer. That didn't happen. I think he'd like to get back in the UK. And let's be honest, you know, Villa is a big club and they will have money to spend. You could do far worse than taking over at Villa, in my opinion. And, you know, we keep mentioning the squad that they've currently got. It's not the worst. I just think that Sherwood didn't get the best out of them.
Former Sky Sports presenter Alan Bentley will stay with us as we preview some of the big games coming the way. Obviously, the biggest match on today's card, Bournemouth up against Tottenham. Looking forward to that at the Liberties. No, I'm just joking. It's the Manchester derby, Destiny Day in the UK. Here is Tom McGarry.
The first Manchester derby of the season will take place at Old Trafford on Sunday, with both United and City vying for top spot. The Red Devils are currently 2 points behind their near neighbours in the standings, and they will be keen to repeat the 4-2 victory they achieved in the corresponding fixture last season. United come into the match following a long trip to Russia in the Champions League, while City were at home to Sevilla in the same competition. Boss Louis van Gaal hopes his side have recovered from their long trip, but he believes City are the slight favourites to win the match.
I hope that we have recovered. We have done everything to help the recovery for the players. It's not so important who is the favourite. When you look at the facts, they are first and we are second or third. And there's a goal difference, point difference, so they are first, so they are the favourite, I think.
United have no new injury concerns heading into the contest, and they could welcome back winger Ashley Young to the Matchday squad following his recovery from a calf problem. Defenders Paddy McNair and Luke Shaw remain long-term absentees with respective abdominal and leg injuries, with no return date having been set for the pair. Manchester City will be looking to extend their impressive recent record against their great rivals, as they have won 6 of the last 8 meetings between the two sides in the Premier League. The Citizens come into the match in good form, as they have scored 11 goals in their last 2 Premier League matches, although they did lose their last away match in the division when they were beaten 4-1 by Tottenham. Boss Manuel Pellegrini could once again decide to leave captain Vincent Kompany out of the starting lineup, but he insists that there is no problem in his relationship with the defender.
I don't have any problem with Vincent Kompany. I need to every week to choose the 11, the start 11 that I think that is the best for that game, and the others players must wait. Exactly the same for all the players of the squad. No, I not punish Vincent, and I don't have any problem with my relation with Vincent. I think that after 1 month or 35 weeks without playing and without training, you must be fit, but you are not ready to play an important game. So it was important for him to work some days before he will return to the team.
Company is yet to return to the starting 11 since injuring his calf in the middle of September, and he may well have to watch from the sidelines once again if Aliquim Mangala and Nicholas Otamendi are given the nod in the derby. City have no fresh injury concerns heading into the match, but they remain without injured quintet David Silva, Sergio Aguero, Gael Clichy, Samir Nasri and Fabian Delph for the Old Trafford clash.
Yeah, bragging rights very much up for grabs in this one. We'll hear from both managers in just a second. We have fans on the line as well. But Harrison, this, can we say now officially, given the money that both of these sides are spending, this is the biggest game on the planet?
Pretty much the biggest game right now. I would say that some other fans would say that Liverpool versus Man United would be up there. It definitely depends on where people are from. Like the Mancunians, of course, they're going to say that this is the biggest match of the year.
You think as a Manchester United fan, you would rather beat Manchester City now than beat Liverpool?
I would say that I would rather beat Liverpool any day of the week.
So it's not the biggest game on the planet?
It's the second biggest game.
Okay.
Second biggest game, for sure, yeah.
Okay, let's hear from both managers. First up, Manuel Pellegrini. He knows just how special this game is.
Well, I think for the City, it's always a special game. It's different when you finish the game and you won the game than when you lost. So it's very important for both fans to try to win, for both fans to try to demonstrate who is the better team of the City. And of course, we are involved in the same situation. I think it's very important for as a manager or as a team, not only as a manager, as a team to win this derby because it's a special game for fans.
Alan Bentley is on the line from the UK, our resident tipster. How hard is it to pick a winner in this game, Al?
Well, I think it's one of those, Andy, where you've got two evenly matched teams. You pick the outsider of three, and that happens to be the draw, which, of course, in a derby game is inevitably a big player. The draw is 3.5. I think looking at the records of the two teams, I think that really has to be the value. You know, Manchester United have been okay by and large last season, the big games. They were woeful at Arsenal the other week. City, yes, their last draw was 29 games ago, but that's not relevant in terms of today. And the other thing, I think Man City will operate a bit more cagely than in the past with the likes of Aguero and Silva out. When those two have been in tandem, they're 5 out of 5. So I think the draw has to be the value, although I'd be a bit happier if it was back in the draw, if I saw that man Company at the back rather than particularly Mangala, but we'll have to see what happens. The other worry for me, I've got to tell you, is Kolarov playing left back if he starts, because I think you can always get at him. So they're my two worries if I am back in the draw, but yep, the draw has to be the value, I think, mate.
Okay, let's get some more help with your prediction as we get to a stat attack with our producer Nicholas Lim. Hi, Nick.
Hello.
I've got a question for you this time. Didn't have one yesterday. Didn't do enough research. How many of the last 8 Manchester derbies have Manchester City won?
Second line in my stats, that's 6.
Okay, and how many wins? How many games did it take them to secure 6 wins previously?
This is 42.
Good, bro. Good.
That's exact second line in my stats. So
okay,
maybe
don't repeat it. Okay,
I won't repeat it. But Manchester City could be motivated to get one more win. It will make it their 50th win over Manchester United. And everyone knows how good City are in attack, but they've lost 5 of their last 10 away games. Kevin De Bruyne will likely be a key player for City in the absence of Sergio Aguero and David Silva. The Belgian has scored 5 and assisted 4 in his last 7 games. Meanwhile, Manchester United have won 17 of their last 23 home games under Louis van Gaal, and should they avoid defeat tonight, they will remain unbeaten for their first 5 home games of the season for the first time since 2010. And Wayne Rooney is approaching a number of landmarks, and if he scores tonight, he will overtake Andy Cole in the Premier League's top scorer list, although he's a good 72 goals behind Alan Shearer's record. He's also just 1 goal behind Dennis Law in the Manchester United scoring list and 13 behind legend Bobby Charlton, so he'll have extra motivation to find the net. Overall, it'll be a tight game that could go either way, but once again, it's a derby. Form books go out the window, so I apologise. I'm sorry, I wasted your time.
Never wasting our time, Nick Lim. The team news is in. We will Turner in just a second, but I can tell you that Vincent Company does start for City. Also in Kolarov, Fernando and Pablo Zabaleta. What's up, bro?
I've got a fan on the line.
Oh, thanks. Okay, you're just talking to me. I thought you were on air talking to me, but you weren't. That's good broadcasting there, and I've been out of the game for a while, man. You know what I'm saying? Louis Van Gaal making just one change from that mission to Moscow in midweek. Juan Mata replacing Jesse Lingard. Andrew is a Manchester United fan. Where are all these local lads? What's happened to this derby?
It's an increasing global game right now because with all the money all over the clubs and all that, you have PSG with their investors. You have Man City. You have Chelsea. So much money in the game. There's just not enough time for clubs to actually develop homegrown talent. So if I see a overseas kid, foreigner on YouTube with decent and exceptional skills, you probably fly a scout over there and try to fly the whole family over and actually farm it in your own academy. So it's really hard. It's a different game altogether. The Man U fans always talk about the 1992 youth team, the Giggs, the Beckham, the Nicky Butt, the Gary Nevilles, but it's going to be increasingly difficult to find people like them anymore in the game.
Juan Fa is a Manchester United fan. Hey, buddy, how are you?
Yeah, hi. Yes, this is Yun Fa here. Yeah.
Well, that's good to hear. Good, thanks for checking in with us. Where are you watching the game tonight in Singapore?
I'm watching the game at the Bank Spa. The location is at Shenton Way.
Okay, and that's where all the Manchester United fans hang out, right?
Yeah, correct.
Okay, we should have a massive turnout for this one. How many people do you think will be there?
How many? Currently, I can see there's about 50 to 60 people. Yeah, currently.
Okay, what I'm expecting, Juan Fa, is for you, just for Red Card Radio, and we do this with all the fans that call in. We have a really big sing-song wherever we are. Okay, so I'm hoping that you can really get the troops together and give us a massive Manchester United song at some point throughout the evening. Is that okay?
Okay, hold on. Okay.
You could do it now.
In the bar?
Yeah, get inside the bar. Let's do it.
Better acoustics in there.
The best bit about this is how he sets them up. Okay, lads, we're on radio now.
What you choose?
Okay.
He's saying we gotta go.
Because I'm.
Well, you can do it inside. Well, I tell you what.
I know.
Okay, I think I'll go off that.
There's a bar charge of $50, exclusive for a trip.
So $50 bar charge. Hey, nice. Hey, Juan Fa, let's talk about this game very quickly. I'm very interested in your prediction.
Okay. My prediction will be Man United will be 3, and then Man City will be 1.
You make one change today. Juan Mata comes in to replace Jess Lingard. What's wrong with Wayne Rooney, my friend? Is he playing well, in your opinion?
Currently, I don't think Wayne Rooney is really on form, similar to Memphis Depay. But for what I know, this Marshall is feeling really well. Yeah. And but I hope that sorry. Can you tell me
This is stay long on the Wi-Fi. I love it.
What is going on?
I don't know, bro. Okay, no, I'll stay with Juan Fa just for 10 more seconds, alright? See what he's got for us. Nothing. Right, we'll move on. Tell you what, Juan Fa, try and get us all the Manchester United fans singing if you could. James Gower's with us, the programme director for ESP Zen. Lots of things have changed about this fixture over the years. You can also just remember Sean Goater playing for Manchester City, for example. You know, that sort of thing. Yeah. How special is it in the Northwest?
Probably not asking the best person as you're asking the Scouser, but I think you look at the game. It's a huge game, isn't it? You know, two teams at the top of the league, and with it being the Manchester derby, I think it just adds an extra bit of edge to it. And I think you look at City a couple of years. You know, only a few years ago they were playing in a couple of divisions below United, and to come to where they are now is pretty much incredible. If you're a City fan, it's Christmas every day, you know. So I think it's going to be an interesting game. I fancy City to win it. I think on the break, I think they're powerful on the break, City, and I fancy them to get a couple of goals there today.
Haizam is a Manchester City fan. Hi Haizam.
Hey, hi, hello, good evening, man.
Yeah, good evening, man. Where are you watching the game today?
Oh, yeah, okay. City fans are watching at Muddy Murphy's at 311 Somerset.
Okay.
So right now we are gathering here waiting for the match, actually.
Is this where the official Manchester City...
No, currently we are watching it over here because we are in the midst of discussing with a few of the places to see where they can actually host us, actually. So for now, this is where we are watching, actually.
Okay, so you are a supporters club without a home at the moment.
Yeah.
Hey, do you know what? That's very much like the Southampton supporters club. We have no home, but then again, we just don't. It's only just me and Dan Bond, like, who wants to go and watch these games.
I think because it's because for City, actually, if you're looking in Singapore's context, we are actually a growing number of fans, actually. So we have to understand from the business perspective of places. Sometimes they just want to keep it neutral because they don't want to be exclusive for us because we are not huge in numbers for now. So it's quite we would say a supporters club without a home, I think, is an apt situation for us, actually.
Haizam, make sure you get a really good deal at half-time. Make sure they bring out some food free of charge at half-time, and make sure they give you discount on the beers, okay?
Right, sure, right.
Hey, you got some major injury worries for your lovely team today. James Gow thinks they're going to win. How do you think they'll get on?
Okay. I mean, it's worrying that we are going into this derby without Aguero, the player, our on-form player, and Silva is a 50-50. So, I mean, injury-wise, I hope that we can cope, actually, to be honest with you, because by the looks of it, we are going into the game not as the underdog, because I think with the form that we are in, so I think the injuries are the ones that are getting a lot of the fans worried. But I think looking at how we played in the previous game, we should be doing fine, actually. It will be a good derby for this evening, actually. If we could, if we win, it shows that we are not overly reliant on Silva and also Aguero. At least we have.
This is it, and they're two absolutely quality players as well. In the studio with us, Haizam, are two Manchester United fans. One of them is Harrison. He'd like a word with you.
Hey, Sam. It's good to have you on the show.
Hey, hi, man.
Yeah, hi. I would just like to ask you, who do you think would be the key danger person or danger man for each of the teams, and who do you pinpoint to do the most damage?
For United, United, I'm impressed with actually Anthony Martial, actually, to be honest with you, because he came in with a lot of fanfare with the price that United pay, but I think he could be the ace in the pack for United, actually. It's not that I don't rate Rooney or Mata, but the thing is that because Martial this is his first derby joining United, so it's going to be a baptism of fire for him. So either he's going to rise up to the occasion or he's going to flunk like how Di Maria did last season. So to me, for the danger man that I think he should look for is actually Martial, because for the rest, I think most of the players will have known the weakness and the strength, but Martial is kind of like the joker in the pack for United.
Yeah, absolutely.
So for City, like I said, because we are missing Aguero and Silva is a 50-50 thingy. So I really hope to see De Bruyne continuing his good form, because to be honest with you, this season he is actually the bargain purchase, because I never thought because we never thought that he could do that well, and I think Jose Mourinho might have been cursing under his breath for letting him go to Wolfsburg, and to see him performing for City so well this season. I think he's going to be the danger man that United have to look out for, actually.
Hey, hi Sam, just stay on the line for a second. We just need to get to James Gow, because there's been another goal at the Stadium of Light. James.
Oh, I can't sure.
Sunderland at a corner. Adam Johnson's whipped in a long high cross, and at the back post it's Yann Veer who's pulled away, and he's hit it towards goal, and Billy Jones has just nicked in front of a couple of defenders, and it's been a tap in for him. It's poor defending from Newcastle perspective, but Sunderland gone 2-0 up, and looks like they're going to take control of the game now with with the extra man.
History repeating itself. If you take over as manager of Sunderland, the second game you take on Newcastle, and then you win. So, Haizam, you think Manchester City are going to win? Is there enough of you to try and get some sort of song, a live song, a chant for the radio?
Alright, okay, can show you. Okay. City, City, best in the land and on the world. City, City, the best team in the land and all the world, and all the world, and all the world.
Thanks, Haizam.
Okay, you want me to do another song?
Well, no, I thought you might be joined by a few others, but it's still different class, mate. It's different class.
You stand alone.
Thanks, Haizam. We'll talk to you at half-time. Good luck in your game today.
All right, sure, man. No problem. Thanks a lot, man.
Let's hear from Louis Van Gaal. He is well aware of just how big a game this is for the supporters.
I think for the fans it's very emotional. I live in a little village, and there's also the talk of the town. So I think in Manchester is more. But we have to do our work. We have to prepare our game. We have one day less, so it is more difficult. We have to do the meetings in a shorter time. It's also more difficult for the players. But we have to do that. And that is what we are doing. And then we hope that we can beat Manchester City.
The show on Red Card Live. We're streaming live on YouTube as well. Our guests today, Harrison Lim, Andrew Gant, James Gow. Alan Bentley is on the line from the UK as well. Let's get to Tom McGarry, who's watching Sunderland against Newcastle. Details of that second goal.
Sunderland extend their advantage. It's Sunderland 2, Newcastle 0. It comes from a set play. It's a lofted loop delivery from Adam Johnson. Perhaps something they've worked on the training ground, because Jan Villa read the situation and he puts a superb volley in from the left-hand corner of the penalty box. It's heading towards the bottom corner. There are Newcastle defenders around, but fortunately for him, Billy Jones was there, the Sunderland fullback, with the most simple of tasks to turn the ball home from just 2 yards out. An unlikely scorer, but Sunderland have what could be a crucial 2-goal cushion now. Newcastle, they haven't really threatened in the past 10 minutes or so. They've gone a little flat. It's Sunderland's game to lose now. They have the advantage. Sunderland 2, Newcastle 0.
We will get to Will Turner in just a few moments' time for team news for that Manchester derby. Let's get some predictions from our co-host first up. I'll always do it by way of asking you a quiz question to give you the right for that prediction.
Fair enough. Okay.
Let's start off with Harrison. Rooney has scored how many goals in Manchester derbies in all competitions?
That's a very good question, one which I will Google right now and I'll get back to you. I'll go with 5 goals.
It's 11 and he holds the record.
11.
What's your prediction for today's game?
My prediction for it's going to be a close game, I would say. It's probably going to go, I'm going to go with 3-2 to Man United.
3-2, biased.
Of course.
For Andrew, Wayne Rooney. How old is Wayne Rooney?
I don't have to Google for that, but it's 30 this year. His birthday is just yesterday.
Yesterday, very good. And how many Premier League goals has he scored? Give you a clue.
Do you have a multiple choice up?
Yeah, I do actually. 180, 187, 195, 200.
I'll go with 180.
187, level with Andrew Cole at the moment, second only to Alan Shearer's 260. What's the scoreline going to be?
Although I'm a Man U fan, but I think Manchester City would take this. With,
brilliant. That's what we want to hear.
2-1 actually.
That's what we want.
No, it's a case of heart against mine. You know, I watched Manchester United over the weekday at CSK. They were shit. They were really shit. I never watched a Man U game. I actually fell asleep before until in recent times. So it was really bad. So all I'm hoping right now is a good performance with a good chances to be created, just good attacking movement and from the team, and that's enough for me. So.
You can, like James just said, you can leave early and go and join the high ground. He's got no friends at the moment.
Go back to your house, then you can have a supporters club.
James, Manuel Pellegrini's side have scored in each of their last how many games?
33.
18. It's not as many as you think, is it? So there you go, all the predictions done. We'll get to the team news in just a moment. Another big game taking place tonight is Bournemouth up against Tottenham Hotspur. Let's hear from the two managers first up, I think. Eddie Howe, because it's going to be tough for Eddie losing last time against Manchester City. However, he says that he's still not going to change the way his side play.
It could be a good thing. You know, you have to take these lessons that you're taught and make sure you adapt and come out positively at the end of it, because It was never going to be an easy season for us. There were going to be moments, we said right at the beginning of the season, that this potentially would happen to us, but we have to grow from it. It's our first experience of that kind of game, and it did us no harm in the Championship. We experienced similar, if not heavier, defeats, but we always came out of it with renewed in vigour and learning the lessons that we just experienced. So that's the challenge now that we need to do.
I said that we wrapped up what was the Manchester derby. I didn't get James' prediction, although I know he's going to go for a Manchester City win.
2-1 Manchester City, I fancy. On the break, a couple of goals.
Thank you very much. Alan Bentley is with us, our resident tipster, former Sky Sports presenter. He's live in the UK. He's still where are you? In London somewhere, Al?
Yeah, just north of London, in Ongar in Essex, Andy.
Oh, very nice indeed. What price are Newcastle in play now against Sunderland?
Newcastle are 309 to 1, 2-0 down. That was Billy Jones's first goal, by the way, for Sunderland. He's hardly been prolific since he left Preston. That was his first goal for Sunderland. And just to tidy up one other loose end, David Moyes 6-4 now for that Villa job, Andy, with Brendan Rodgers 7-1 next best.
Right, so he's favourite, is he?
Yeah, he is. 6-4 favourite.
Jeez, there's no value there, son, is there?
Yeah, there you go. But I think, as I said, I think he'd like it. He's got his manager, his number 2, Steve Round, will enjoy it there as well. So I can see it as a seamless fit. I can see him being over here next week.
Looking forward to Bournemouth against Tottenham. It kicks off in 35 minutes. This Tottenham side look a bit tasty at the moment, Al.
Do you think so? I'm not convinced. I think they're somewhat sterile. I mean, they were woeful against Anderlecht the other day. Against Liverpool for the first half hour, they were clueless. I'm still not convinced. I know Pochettino laid into them after the Anderlecht game. They've only scored 4 away from home so far this season. They've drawn 5. Harry Kane, a shadow of the player we saw last season. And I think Bournemouth have got a chance. I know they've got all the injuries, Andy. They've only kept 1 Premiership clean sheet, and that was against a poor Sunderland team. I know Sunderland have improved, particularly today. But I do give Bournemouth a chance at the prices. They're getting a quarter-goal head start on the Asian. They're 5-2 at home on a tight pitch against, to me, I hear what you're saying, but I'm still not convinced about Spurs. Be interesting to hear what the other boys think, but I can't be having Spurs at the moment.
I just think that with Bournemouth, with all of those injuries that they've had to all of their signings, they've become a Championship side again.
Well, actually, it's odd. There's still only 4th favourites to go down. I mean, obviously, Villa long odds on to go down, then Sunderland as before today. And then you've got Bournemouth and the other 2 promoted teams, you know, the 4th, 5th and 6th favourites. Eddie Howe's an outstanding young manager, but as we said yesterday, it can be so fickle. We've seen it again with Tim Sherwood today. You know, a few more defeats for Eddie Howe, and he could be on his way. But I do like him, and I do give them, and I'm going to stick my neck out here, I'm going to give them a chance at a big price today, Andy. At 5-2, I'm going to give them a chance.
Okay, let's have dinner on that, Al.
Okay, mate. So thanks for that.
No. Well, whoever wins.
Are you giving me the draw as well then?
You can have a quarter-goal start all day long. Give you half a goal start if you want.
There you go. I'll have half then.
All right, then. You can have it. I don't care. Will Turner is watching the Manchester derby. Here he is with the latest team news.
Manchester United, Manchester City's always a big game. Louis van Gaal is insisting that local bragging rights are a key part of this particular encounter, this particular afternoon. But you know what? I think he's just pulling on our string a little bit, with just 3 points separating United from Arsenal at the top of the Premier League table, with Chelsea out of the title race and Arsenal being Arsenal. United against City this afternoon has a real title-deciding or highly influential look about it. The points this afternoon will mean an awful lot more than local bragging rights, whatever Van Gaal says. I think he's just downplaying a little bit of the significance of this particular encounter. An encounter which sees United making just the one change in the side which drew with CSKA Moscow in midweek, in that Juan Mata comes in on the right-hand side for Anders Lingard. City make 3 changes to the side which beat Sevilla last time out. Out goes Zabaleta, Mangala and Navas, and in come Messrs Kolarov, Fernando and Vincent Kompany, who is the big headline, I suppose, return to the starting lineup after all the supposed issues with his manager. Not that they've been quite as much as everyone would have us believe. No Silva, no Aguero for City. Of course, not many sides could cope without that level of talent, but such a City resources that the lineup they put out this afternoon doesn't look too shabby, I have to say. On which point, let's get straight to the lineups. In that United have De Gea in goal. Back 4 of Valencia, Jones, Smalling and Rocco. Schweinsteiger and Schneiderlin will anchor the midfield with, in front of them, Mata, the man coming in, and Herrera, Rooney and Anthony Martial. We're not sure whether Martial's going to be up front or Rooney, and respectively. One of them or the other will be out on the left-hand side. That's how we see things currently, and quite what is going to happen from 2:05 onwards, we'll have to wait and see. City lineup with Joe Hart in goal, a back four of Sanya, Otamendi, Kompany and Kolarov, and then the midfield of Fernandinho, Yaya Toure, Fernando and De Bruyne, who's been so impressive in his first season in the Premier League this season, and Raheem Sterling and Wilfried Boney will continue as a spearhead in the absence of Messrs Silva and Aguero, not least. Wayne Rooney, the leading goal scorer in this particular fixture, with I think it's 11 to his name, celebrated a 30th birthday yesterday. Whether he'll be celebrating the close of business is something we can only speculate, but whichever way the result goes, as I say, I think there is, it's fair to say, quite a lot at stake. Kick-off, is it?
Many thanks to Will Turner there. We are in the company of Harrison Lim, Andrew Gann and James Gow. Alan Bentley's on the line from the UK. This is the Andy Penders Show on Red Card Live. We're building up to Bournemouth against Tottenham as well. That's a 10 o'clock kickoff in the Hong Kong, Singapore, Malaysia time zone. Let's get some thoughts on what's going to happen. Harrison, did you manage to see what happened to Spurs midweek?
I saw a bunch of the highlights and watched a little bit of it, yeah.
Yeah, what happened?
Okay, so what happened is I think it's a bit of a case. It's a multiple things. So I think first, Pochettino is struggling a little bit to impose his pressing game on Spurs. I think there's an argument to be made for the fact that these kind of methods kind of tend to work on no offense, like on teams which are more they don't have like top six aspirations as much. Like it's not a requirement, and so like when you get to the bigger teams, like perhaps like a pressing game is not something that they're not up for necessarily. It really depends. Another thing is Kane has been struggling really badly. He's still the same player he was, but he's just not quite in the zone. I think for strikers, I think that's quite fair to say that when you're in the zone, you're scoring goals, you're hitting the ball right. You don't think, and he's overthinking all his decisions right now, and also a bit of a lack of leadership. Whenever you see all the top teams, they tend to buy players in really important positions. Like their captain is Hugo Lloris, and he's the captain, is great, but he's the goalkeeper, so he can't run up and debate every single decision that comes up, and that's a bit of a problem. And they haven't really had any like strong characters in their dressing room, I would say. I would say that's mostly it. They do have Song Hyun-min who has come in and given them a real boost, and not just to their t-shirt sales. But overall I think it takes a little bit of time for them to kind of find their feet and kind of kick on from there.
James, it's still a Spurs side that are unbeaten since the opening day of the season.
I think Pochettino's got them organised. I think against Liverpool last week they didn't create too much. They created a couple of chances based purely on Liverpool's mistakes, but the interesting stat was from last week is that Spurs outran every single Premier League opponent that they played against, and it doesn't take a lot to get a team running, but they're getting running in the right positions and they're running in the right places. So I think it's no surprise that they're doing okay, but I think they need to find an extra gear to go up, I think, to progress to the next level, and where he'll get that from I don't know. He needs Harry Kane back scoring them goals.
Andrew, do you agree with my assertion that Bournemouth are going to struggle from now on with all those injuries?
Definitely so. I actually bought them to be relegated this season.
Oh, did you? What price did you get?
I forgot the odds, but I placed $10 on it because with the injuries to Callum Wilson, to Max Gradle, it's not out for 1-2 months, but they're out for 6 months at least. So they just don't have enough quality up and down the park to actually sustain a challenge in the EPL. So
got Glenn Murray, son. He's firing the goals in.
Glenn, he's just one person, They don't have like a plan B or plan C. So
good test for Eddie Howe then. Really good test for him.
That's right. So
and we like young local managers.
Do you think he should have changed his style? If you look at what he's done, he's come up and he said, "Oh yeah, we're going to keep the same style that we played with in the Championship." I just think that's a little bit naive, and I think a lot of teams try and do that, and ultimately they don't usually do well because they're coming up against teams with better players this time.
I think I think you can keep the same style, but in the second season, then you have to change it, like West Brom and maybe like Stoke, and just battle it for a while. Maybe you can get away with it. Blackpool did it. Hull did it. Wigan did it.
That's true. It's true.
You have to kind of consolidate. You have to consolidate your position before you actually kick on.
I'd say so.
Let's get some predictions then from the boys. Kick off in 25 minutes at the Liberty Stadium. I'll do so by way of asking you a quiz question. You're thinking Bournemouth, Tottenham. I've got no hope. How many times have Bournemouth played Tottenham in the league, Harrison?
20?
No, 0. It's the first time history being made today. What's your prediction?
My prediction would be both sides are struggling. I would say 1-1.
Andrew, Bournemouth have scored in each of their last how many Premier League fixtures on the spin?
I would go with 8.
7. Unlucky.
Ah,
No,
damn.
close though,
Pretty close. That was pretty close.
Tough questions today. Prediction, please.
2-0 to Spurs.
2-0 to Spurs. Is anyone going to tip a Bournemouth win? James Gow. Harry Kane has scored 3 goals from how many shots this season?
40.
Yeah. Are you looking at my notes?
I suppose.
Oh, done. Man.
Actually, his last actually, I'm making a mistake.
Oh.
Last 17 league appearances, he's had 40 shots. Very good. And he scored just 3 goals. What's going to happen?
0-0. Ball draw.
Okay, I like it. Hey, Liverpool against Southampton. That's what's that? 12:15 a.m.
12:30
12:30.
Yeah.
12:30. Yeah.
Oh yeah, bring it on.
I feel outnumbered. 2 United fans and a Southampton fan.
Yeah. No, you got Alan Bentley. He's
I've got Alan on the phone. Yeah.
Hey, let's hear from Warren Ashurst. He gives us this lovely preview of the game.
Jurgen Klopp will be hoping it's third time lucky on Sunday as he goes in search of his first win as Liverpool manager when Southampton visit Anfield. The Reds have drawn their opening 2 games under the leadership of the German, with a 0-0 stalemate at Tottenham in the league, followed up with a 1-1 draw against Rubin Kazan in the Europa League. Well, despite all the fanfare that came with his appointment, Klopp is well aware that things will take time, but feels that Liverpool are on the right track.
I didn't expect that we will run through the league from the moment on when I started here. Things like this. This league is too strong. The opponents are too strong. We have not enough time between the games to always to be 20% better in the next game or things like this. But I saw, of course, many things, and I'm not sure what was there before. But now when I see the things we spoke about. I want the result with all my body gives me, but if it's over, I have to analyze next to the result. Result is then only one information.
Well, Liverpool are still expected to be without Daniel Sturridge on Sunday, with Klopp admitting the striker's fitness is not much better. Christian Benteke and Roberto Firmino are options though, having featured as second-half substitutes in the midweek European tie. Danny Ings, Jordan Henderson and Joe Gomez still remain sidelined, but Dejan Lovren could come into contention against his former club after returning to training. Meanwhile, Southampton go into Sunday's match looking to make it 4 Premier League games unbeaten after 2 wins and a draw. The Saints have moved into the top half of the table after a slow start to the campaign, and 8 goals in 3 games shows they're now firing on all cylinders again. After over a year as a manager in the Premier League, Koeman is in a good position to warn Klopp about what to expect in the English top flight.
Every weekend it's very intensive. You don't have a lot of difference between the clubs, and you have to be good. You have to play on a good level to win the game. And you can lose against everybody, you can win against everybody, and if you stay 1 year, you know that it's a tough competition. It's no break, and you need a full squad for that.
Well, Southampton are still without the injured Shane Long, but Koeman will welcome back goalkeeper Martin Stecklenburg to the squad. The Saints boss revealed that Stephen Davis and Jay Rodriguez had suffered knocks in training this week, but both should be fit to feature at Anfield. Well, Liverpool have won the last 3 meetings between the two sides, including a 2-1 success in this fixture last term, but Saints did collect a 1-0 away win 2 seasons ago when Dejan Lovren, now of course of Liverpool, scored the only goal.
Alan Bentley is our resident tipster. He's live on the Skype line from the UK. Hey Al, you're a big Liverpool fan as well. Are you feeling optimistic against the side I love?
I'm feeling optimistic about the future, Andy, but not particularly about today. I mean, Southampton have been decent this year. The 2 games they've lost, it's somewhat bizarre. They conceded 6 in those 2 games, and yet there are only 7 shots on target against them. So I think Southampton are decent. And I'll tell you where I think Liverpool will struggle. It's not necessarily up front, it's the middle of midfield, where Lucas and Emre Can are slower than you are going to the bar, Andy. These two, I really don't like them. And I think Victor Wanyama will run them ragged today. And I fancy Southampton. I can't say, look, I'm a Liverpool fan through and through, but I don't don't like the squad. I think Klopp has got a lot of work to do. I think it's going to be key who he buys in the January window. I think he'll be looking at a central midfielder, and I think they may struggle today. And I think Southampton are a big price, just as Sunderland, by the way, go 3-0 up.
Yeah, just watching that. We'll get to James Gow in just a moment. So you're tipping, what, the draw today? 1-1?
No. Listen, I hate to say this, but if I'm trying to be professional about this. I think Southampton are a massive price in this one. They're 3.9. You can get them with half a goal head start. If you want, Andy, just a gentleman's bet, you've given me Bournemouth, I'll give you Southampton. But from a purely hard-nosed betting perspective, I think Southampton are the call.
No, bro. From a gentleman's perspective, you give me Liverpool, I'll give you Bournemouth.
All right, mate, whatever.
Yeah, whatever. What are you doing this afternoon, Al? What are you doing once you put that Skype phone down?
No, well, I'll be watching the games. I'm going to watch a few games today. I'm going to be interested to see how they pan out. But as I say, I'm not overly optimistic as to my beloved Reds today. And of course, there's going to be a huge amount of pressure on them. I know Liverpool did play at home in the Europa League the other day. There's going to be a huge amount of pressure on both them and Klopp. And I think Southampton couldn't have picked a better time to go to Anfield. Let's put it that way.
Any other big tips for the day, Al?
I think that at the price, Ajax away at Vitesse in the Dutch league, you can get them at almost 3-1, which is bonkers. So I think 2-1, sorry. So I think Ajax, they're getting a quarter goal head start. I think Ajax are a massive price. There's a few shorties as well flying around. I do like the look of Benfica against Sporting Lisbon, Juventus, Dortmund, Barcelona. But if you wanted one at a big price, it would have to be Ajax away at Vitesse.
Thank you very much, Al. Have a great afternoon. We'll see you again next week. Andrew, busy making notes, giving you a big tip there. 2-1 Ajax against Vitesse. Sounds good. Brian De Cruz is a Liverpool fan. Hi, Brian.
Hi.
How's things, buddy?
I'm great. Looking forward to the game.
Really? You're honestly looking forward to a game against the Southampton side that could well tear you apart?
To be honest, both teams are actually looking for points. You take a look at Southampton's last game, it was 2-2. So they are also susceptible to goals, which I think would be in due this game around.
We're susceptible to Jamie Vardy scoring goals, I'll give you a tip. I mean, that's everybody is at the moment, the last 10 games that he's played. So this Liverpool side, I've got two Liverpool fans in the studio here, and both of them, well, I haven't really spoken to James yet, but certainly Alan Bentley, our tipster, is saying that Southampton can go and claim all 3 points in this encounter.
I don't think so. I have this very strong feeling that it would be a 2-1 to Liverpool.
Are you going off feeling there, Brian, or are you going off rational thought?
No, I have a very strong feeling with Benteke and Firmino back. I think he will tweak the system a little to actually get more up front. It has been a bit porous up front. We haven't been scoring quite a number of goals. So I think it's about due. Yeah.
You're not scoring goals. You're the lowest goal scorers in the league right now, along with Watford and West Brom.
Exactly. So I think Klopp with a week, probably with Benteke and Firmino, I strongly think that they are the two players that could bail Klopp out for the time being, until the January window at least, because the players that we have right now is inherited. So I think he's trying to make do with, or trying to find strengths with the ranks. So that being said, I still feel that Southampton, they're playing pretty okay.
We're doing pretty okay, bro. We're doing all right. We're getting back on track now. Mane's playing really well. Watch out for Graziano Pelle. Dusan Tadic putting in the most crosses so far this season. Solid at the back. Virgil van Dijk and Jose Font scoring goals for fun. We got Ryan Bertrand back at left back, one of the best left backs in the country. Suarez fitting in extremely well. Steve Davis, if he plays, is looking really good alongside Wanyama. Watch out, buddy. Bring it on. Where are you watching the game?
Bring it on.
Where are you watching?
I'm sorry.
Where are you watching the game?
Oh, I'm in Woodlands actually.
Okay, you're watching at home, or are you watching in the bar with some friends?
Today I am babysitting, so I'm at home.
Okay, bro. I might come round to your house after and knock on that door at 2:30 in the morning and say hi.
That'd be fun. I'll offer you a drink after the game.
I've never turned down a free drink in my life. I'll give you the tip. Brian, good to talk to you, and best of luck this afternoon for that game at Anfield. We are with James Gow, who's a former first-team analyst for Liverpool. What sort of advice would you be passing on to Jurgen Klopp for this game?
I think I analysed the game last week. Did an article last week on the Tottenham game. I think Liverpool sets up. There's only a few subtle differences, but Liverpool sets up a lot more defensively than a lot of people think. Okay, we ran a lot, we pressed a lot, but on the counter we actually had Nathan Clyne took in, we had James Milner took in. We were quite compact in the middle, so I fancy us to defend well today, and I fancy us to go out and win. I think today's a good chance for us to score 3 or 4 goals.
The last time Southampton had a massive encounter, it was against Chelsea. Throughout the whole of that week, one of our co-hosts, Dan Bond, was saying that the Super Saints could get something from Stamford Bridge. They did. Dan joins us on the line. What have you been saying all week, Dan?
About this game?
Yes.
Well, this game is an interesting one because it all comes down to one man for me, and that's Christian Benteke. I think if he plays, Liverpool have got a chance of scoring goals. And getting something out of this game. I think if he doesn't start, that Liverpool might struggle in this one, and Saints could take the point. So I think it's all down to that one man, to be honest.
Okay. It's so difficult to make a prediction for Southampton. I've just sparked up at a Liverpool fan saying that we'll do really well, but secretly I think we're going to get tongued.
You do? Well, see, the thing is, Saints have proven they can score goals over the last few weeks. I don't see Liverpool stopping them scoring today, even though Liverpool have kept quite a few clean sheets this season. They still look shaky at the back, and they've had to rely on Mignolet quite a bit. I think with the players Saints have got going forward, I think we're going to ask them too many questions. I definitely think we'll score. You look at the performance last week with the young Belgian guy that Liverpool had up front, and they were good in the first half an hour, but I don't think after that they really posed much of a threat. I think Benteke does two things. He poses a real threat to the centre-backs himself, but B, he'll create space for Coutinho and Lallana and their creative midfield players. So I think if he's fit and he plays, it's a real problem for us, and I'm hoping, to be honest, that he doesn't.
Okay, James Gower's with us. He's a big Liverpool fan, and he has this to say to you.
We had Alan Bentley on the phone before, and he was saying that Liverpool struggle in the centre of the park. Do you think that's one of the key areas in the game today?
The centre of the park, yeah, it's going to be key. I think to be honest, they're quite well matched, both teams in the centre of the park. Obviously, screening the back four for both teams is going to be key. James Milner is also going to be another key player for Liverpool. I think when you look at the stats from the distances ran and the sprints last week from Liverpool, the minimum that Klopp requires from his team is to go right to the end and to be fit and to be strong. So I think, with Milner in the centre for Liverpool, I'm not sure who's going to play there long time today. It could be Chan. He could offer something different in terms of a bit more creativity going forward. I think it will be a key area because obviously, it's where it all comes from. The ball goes from the centre backs through the midfield and up to the forward players who can dictate what happens in the game. So it's going to be a key area of the pitch for sure.
I actually do fancy him to drop Milner today, and I think because he's had he's watched a lot of Firmino in Germany. I fancy him to go attacking today. I fancy him to put Firmino in the team, possibly drop Milner out and go up front with Benteke.
Yeah, that's an interesting one. I mean, Firmino's not played much in the last month, but he is fit again today. I mean, I'm not sure about him, to be honest. I've seen him play a few times, and I'm not quite sure he's up to the pace of the Premier League at the moment. I think that would be a bit of a risk, to be honest, to play him. And in Milner, I think they've got someone who's Mr. Consistency in the Premier League. He's proven he can play a number of positions, and I think it's key they play him today because but behind Pella, we're going to have some creative players in the likes of Ward-Prowse, Tadic, Mane, and that space in front of the back four that Milner would normally occupy is going to be a key area for them. So I'd be surprised if they dropped him. I can see them bringing Firmino on as an impact player, but yeah, I'd be surprised if they dropped Milner.
Dan, where are you watching the game?
I'm watching the game at home, unfortunately.
Okay.
Our usual haunt, the Lazy Lizard, doesn't seem to be a place where many Saints fans are going at the moment. And obviously it's a late kick-off too, so I'm going to be watching it. I'm going to be watching it at home, unfortunately.
All right, I might come over.
Yeah, come over. I'll get a few beers in.
All right, sweet, done. More beers, more free beers. We haven't got that update for Sunderland against Newcastle. It's the Sunderland side that are leading by 3-0. Here's Tom McGarry.
have their first win of the Premier League season and their 6th straight triumph against rivals Newcastle. And the third goal is coming from Stephen Fletcher 4 minutes from time. Villa breaking forward over the halfway line. It's a counter-attack from Sunderland. Yunus Kabul, of all peoples, joined him on that counter-attack on the left-hand side. He gets the ball from Villa, plays a lovely, sumptuous first-time ball into the box with his right foot. There's Stephen Fletcher, unmarked at the back post. He volleys home. It comes slightly off his shin in the end, but still a decent finish from the Scotland international. Nothing Rob Elliott could do in the goal. Sunderland have those all-important 3 points, and Sam Allardyce looks a very happy man. Sunderland 3, Newcastle 0.
Thank you very much, Tom. Bournemouth against Tottenham kicks off in 10 minutes' time. Let's get the latest team news with Warren Ashurst.
Well, the Vitality Stadium is the venue for Bournemouth against Tottenham in the 2:05 kick-off in the Premier League, and the team news is through. Bournemouth make 3 changes from the side that were hammered 5-1 at Manchester City last time out. Artur Baruch is one of those changes. He returns between the posts in place of Adam Federici. Meanwhile, Mark Pugh and Josh King come into the starting 11. They replace Adam Smith and Ewan O'Kane. As for Tottenham, they made 4 changes from the side that lost in the Europa League to Anderlecht in midweek. Harry Kane, Dele Alli, Danny Rose and Kyle Walker all come back into the starting lineup, dropping out Clinton Ng, Ben Davis, Kieran Trippier and Andros Townsend. For the 2 starting lineups then for Bournemouth, it's Boruk in goal and Francis Cook, Distan Daniels, Richie Sermon, Gosling, Pugh, King and Murray. For Tottenham, it's Larice, Walker, Alderweireld, Vertonghen, Rose, Dyer, Dembele, Lamela, Ali, Eriksson and Kane. It's Bournemouth against Tottenham.
Thank you very much, Warren. Warren, if you're still there, it's Boruk. I'm not having Boruk. Hey, full time at the Stadium of Light. Here's Tom McGarry with his report.
Sunderland 3, Newcastle 0. Newcastle dominated the first half. Mitrovic with a header just wide. Kolpak with a volley from 10 yards were their best opportunities. But Sunderland took the lead in controversial style just on the stroke of half time. Colaccini adjudged to have fouled Fletcher. He was sent off as well. A penalty was given by Bobby Madley. Johnson took it home for 1-0 into the second half, and Sunderland wrapped up the points. Firstly with a goal from a corner from Billy Jones, and they wrapped up the points on the counter attack with Mvia and Kabul combining to find Stephen Fletcher. Finished Sunderland 3, Newcastle 0.
Thanks, Tom. We're just building up to Liverpool against Southampton. That's a 12:30 kickoff in the Hong Kong time zone. On the way, Kai's going to be joining us to talk about, it's just doing so many things. It's doing my head in. I can't actually tell you what he's doing. It's agent. I can see him in the production room there. Well, yeah, agent, running your own league, taking over the world, yeah? We'll get him in just a moment. Let's just quickly wrap up our pundits' thoughts, our co-host thoughts for what's going to happen between Liverpool and Southampton. Harrison, what have you learned then about Liverpool's 2 games under Klopp so far?
To be perfectly honest, I don't think we learned much at all that we don't already know. We already know that overall the team is somewhat ill-balanced, I would say, across the park. They're still suffering the effects of basically a kind of botched transfer policy. They try. I guess you could say that the transfer committee or Brendan Rodgers, either one of them, tried to be a little too clever in the transfer market. They bought some players that you would say are somewhat questionable.
Who's that?
In the such as Markovic, Lovren off the back of one good season. Same thing for Lallana. Sorry, James. I'm just calling it as it is. And they had some really good players. Emre Can is a really good player. He has a lot of promise. At the same time as well, based on the buys that they've had, you can tell that perhaps they bought a bunch of players from Southampton. They've bought players repeatedly from there. So that just says quite a lot about their scouting ability, or rather lack thereof, I would say. And also, there was a stat that came out after the Spurs versus Liverpool match, which that they ran I think something like 10 kilometers as a team more than their average. But I would say that could be a bit of a false dawn. It is a new manager, and
and it is Liverpool, and they've had loads of false dawns. That's how they roll.
Exactly. Yeah. Exactly.
We turned back the clock.
Yeah. Exactly.
Last night, but they wish they could turn back time, right back to the 80s.
that would be helpful. Yeah, we'll take that.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Having said that, though, Andrew, Klopp's first Premier League game in charge. Klopp at the Kop. Bad time to be facing those Reds, isn't it?
On the contrary, I think it would be a good time to face the Reds, actually. So everybody knows that Jurgen Klopp loves his heavy metal football, intensive running and everything. But Liverpool really don't have the players actually to do the kind of game plan. So to be honest, I think although it's Anfield today, it would be 1-1 draw till the 92nd minute, and then probably Southampton will make a winner.
No,
from a
other way
corner.
around, bro. We don't roll like
Off
that.
Pele, right? Pele will score.
Well, actually, I'm not sure about Pele scoring. We'll get to our stats with Nicholas Lim. Out of the 17 Premier League goals that Pele has scored, Nick, how many has he scored away from home?
He never scores away from home. It's 3 goals only away from St Mary's
He's
Stadium.
good, this boy. He's good. What other stats have you got for us in order for us to... Oh, nice. Who's got the beep in the studio? Oh, right. No, you're just going to show me, are you? Yeah, that's me beeping.
I'm sorry.
It's
on
10
the
o'clock
hour,
right
on
now.
the hour, every hour.
Okay, expect 2 more. I love it. Oh, brilliant. Sorry, Nick, we took away from the beat, took away from your stats.
Yes, well, Liverpool traditionally, they like this fixture. They haven't lost to Southampton in the last 3 meetings. That being said, they haven't been in the best of form. They've drawn 3 of their last 4 league games. They're also very, very goal shy, as you said before. The lowest scorers in the league alongside West Brom and Watford, which is horrible. Meanwhile, Southampton are unbeaten away from home this season and will certainly fancy their chances tonight. Goals are going to have to come from somewhere, though. Don't count on Graziano Pelle. Overall, Southampton look a good shout to take the win, but it will depend on whether the Klopp effect can spur Liverpool to a better performance.
Did I just hear... You are a Liverpool fan and you just said everything points to a Saints win?
Well, I'm looking at it from a statistical point of view.
Okay, what about from a personal point of view as a Liverpool fan?
Well, the thing is, if you look at... Well, I'm going to go back to a bit of the stats or pattern, right? If Liverpool concede first, they will not win. Because even in the Brendan Rodgers era, right, they don't come back from a losing position very often. So if they concede first, they will not win. They need to keep a clean sheet if they want to win this. That being said, I'm not sure if I'm going to watch the game. You know, I have a curse. If I watch Liverpool, they play rubbish.
Yeah, mind you, whenever you fall asleep on the job, Southampton go and win.
That's true.
Right?
I don't know if it's a
Against
Southampton...
Chelsea, fast asleep, loving it. Yeah.
Yeah, so...
No, fall asleep, bro. Don't. Oh, yeah. No, watch it. Oh, do whatever you want to do.
Yeah, I don't know. I think I'll go home, I'll sleep, I'll wake up and see Liverpool win 2-0.
Let's get some predictions before we talk to Kai. He's been so patient. He came in super early. I know he has to leave soon, but predictions via the way of a quiz question. Oh no, we've had that stat already. I'll come back to you, Andrew, in a minute. Right, 4 of Southampton's last 6 goals. Actually, this is for both of you.
Okay.
4 of Southampton's last 6 goals against Liverpool have come from players who have gone on to sign for the Reds. Who are they?
Well, Lovren is one of them,
correct.
Of course. Lallana, probably.
No.
No?
Klein?
Klein, correct.
That's a... Wow.
There are 4?
There's 2 more.
2 more.
Wow.
Both strikers.
You want a hint?
Ricky Lambert.
Ricky Lambert.
This last one's a bit difficult.
Another striker?
Another striker, yeah, good one. England international.
England international.
Yeah.
A lot of people don't remember he played for Southampton, though.
What do you mean? He's played for everyone, though.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
You know
the big man.
Big man.
Peter Crouch?
Peter Crouch, yeah, correct.
sense.
Andrew, what's going to happen in this game? Liverpool against Southampton.
92nd minute off Pele's head.
Brilliant, love it.
2-1.
Love your story. You come on this show anytime you like.
I secure my contract with him.
I'm gonna split defense. I'm gonna say 2-2.
2-2.
Desmond.
Yeah, Desmond 2-2. Are you understanding James's accent, by the way?
Yeah, it's not too bad.
Not too bad, right?
I had a bunch of friends in Korea, expats, and 1 or 2 Irish friends.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, the Irish and the Scouse, not that dissimilar.
Not too dissimilar.
Very close to
Pretty tough for you.
Yeah.
I struggle, mate. I'm serious.
I just nod my head and just say.
What's the closest city to Dublin?
That's Liverpool, is it?
There you go.
There you go.
50 kilometres of sea splits Liverpool.
How long does
from
it take you to get on the ferry?
To Dublin?
Yeah.
I haven't tried it, but I think it takes 2 hours or so.
Really? That's going to be a good trip, wouldn't it?
We need to try that one.
Yeah, I've done a stag do in Dublin. Awesome.
What was it like? Good.
Different class. Get yourself to the Jameson Distillery. Awesome. Just
There you
loved it. Prediction time from James Gow, program director at ESP Zen. One goalkeeper has kept the most clean sheets in this calendar year. Who is it?
Simon Mingley.
It is. How many?
17?
No, 13.
13.
Yeah. What's the prediction then from a Liverpool fan, born and bred?
I fancy Liverpool to score a couple today. We created a lot of chances on Thursday. I'm going to go 3-1 Liverpool.
Nice. All right, looking forward to it. Looking forward to that.
Pump yous.
We're going to give Andrew and Harrison a little break as we welcome Kai into the studio. As we do so, let's get to a break ourselves.
It's Sunday night with Andy Penders on Red Card Sports Radio. This weekend on Barclays Premier League Live, Manchester United versus Manchester City from Old Trafford.
Young drives it across the face of goal. Mata! 3-0. Juan Mata puts the icing on the cake.
It's another testing cross. Aguero slides in the far post. He's only got 5. Sergio Aguero, lethal.
Hear every kick on Barclays Premier League Live.
You're listening to Red Card Sports Radio. Talk to us on Twitter at Red Card Connect or on Facebook at facebook.com/RedCardConnect.
This weekend on Barclays Premier League Live, Liverpool versus Southampton from Anfield.
Milner will take right footed. Good delivery, and Danny Ings heads Liverpool in front in the Merseyside derby. This is Mane. He's got options right and left. Pella in space. 3-1 Southampton. Absolutely incredible at Stamford Bridge.
Hear every kick on Barclays Premier League Live.
Enter a new generation of sports. Red Card Sports Radio.
It's Sunday night, everyone. Welcome. It's the Andy Penders Show on Red Card Live. Wherever you are watching, welcome. Great to have your company. We've been previewing all of the games in the Premier League today. Liverpool against Southampton kicking off at 12:30 in the Hong Kong time zone. Already underway, James Gow. Manchester United up against Manchester City. What are those early exchanges looking like?
It's fairly cagey to start off with. Looks like the two teams are just feeling each other out. City have just exchanged possession to United, and not much. It's quite tight at the moment. Only a minute and 30 seconds gone though.
Okay, we'll come to you in the next 30 seconds. Don't worry, we'll keep us up to speed. Hey, Kyle's in the house. Hi, Kai. How you doing?
Hi, I'm fine, thank you.
Love to see your Ipswich Town shirt.
Oh, thank you very much.
Different class.
Yes, it is. This is the away shirt last season.
Who are they sponsored by there?
Marcus Evans, their owner. So.
Nice.
Yeah.
What does he do? What business is that then?
I don't know, because most of the fans don't know what he does.
Nice to have a benefactor. How did they do? They played already this weekend? I haven't done my championship.
Yeah, they drew 1-1 with Nottingham Forest yesterday.
Hey, good result.
Yeah, it's a good result. But they are not really on form at the moment. They lost their last 2 games, if I'm not mistaken. It was a disappointing good draw at home at Huddersfield. And then they actually lost away. And hopefully that after the Nottingham Forest game, probably we'll see Ipswich winning some games, couple games, and then they'll go up to the automatic spot.
You care much about this Manchester derby?
Yeah, I do. Of course, I prefer to see Man City win this one. Yeah, for certain reasons.
Well, they kind of have a secret Liverpool fan.
Yes. No, I'm not a secret Liverpool fan.
Hey, anyone who follows Kai on his Facebook page will be blown away by just how much you do.
Yeah, there's a lot more to be done actually.
Can you just for first time listeners, just give us an overview of the many hats that you play within the sort of local football scene?
Right. Okay. First of all, I'm actually the chairman of the Malayan Youth League. That's actually a platform where we have youths of the under-20 and the under-17 playing against each other. These are players who are not involved with the local COE clubs. The players which has been looking for a platform to actually play in an environment which is completely professional in a way that, because we actually have a referee and 2 linesmen for the games, so they are actually quite good for them to actually get involved, and also the professional side of the game gives them an experience. Other than that, I'm also involved in a local club which is called Warwick Knights Football Club.
Warwick Knights.
Yeah, Warwick Knights.
Okay, we'll hear a little bit more about Warwick Knights in just
All
a
right.
second. In the meantime, let's get to Warren Ashurst, who can tell us that there's been a goal. I've been calling it Liberty Stadium. I just realised it's the Vitality Stadium. It's Bournemouth against Tottenham.
Less than a minute on the clock, and it is Bournemouth 1, Tottenham 0, and a sensational start from the home side. And it was down the left-hand side where it was created. The fullback Daniel swung it across towards the area, aiming for Glenn Murray. It was over his head, but Matt Ritchie, picking up the pieces at the back post, had one touch and then blasted it low in at the near post past Hugo Lloris. What a start for Bournemouth. The home fans rocking after that early goal, and already Mauricio Pochettino inside the technical area with his arms crossed, wondering what on earth has gone on here. After Tottenham's defeat in the Europa League in midweek, they're already behind. It's Bournemouth 1, Tottenham 0.
In the studio, James Gowan, Programme Director for ESPN. Kai's joined us, who's the chairman of the Merline Youth League. Got a bit of a problem there, have you, James?
This one's not working, yeah.
Your headphone's not working.
No.
I wonder if you kick something down below. Anyway, Kai's with us. So we're talking about the Merline Youth League, which sounds fantastic, by the way. Under 17s, under 20s, all in action.
That's right.
And also you're involved in Warwick Knights.
Yeah, Warwick Knights, we are an FAS affiliated club. We play in the FAS Island-wide league at the moment. We managed one game so far because of the haze. We're supposed to complete all 5, but it's been pushed back. So we have one game, and it's a good 6-1 win over Safsa. So we are top of the league somehow.
So there's how many teams in this league?
There's Warwick Knights itself. There's Safsa. There's South Avenue, and then we have Jungfrau Punggol. And then the other club is what is it? Oh, it's GFA Victoria FC. So.
And this is open category, is it?
Yeah, this is open.
How good are these players? How good are these boys?
We are looking at probably some of the clubs have ex-S League players, so there's a lot of experience in all the clubs itself. In terms of fitness, is there because they have to pass the fitness test before playing for the league. And we are hoping that there's some radical changes in the FAS in the leagues, local leagues. So the Island-wide will probably be the Division 2 league for next season. So we are all really involved together.
So this is an FAS sanctioned league?
Yes, it is.
Like, so you got the Prime League?
Prime League is for the youths.
I gotcha. Okay.
This one is actually for the Open.
So there could be. Does that mean there could be relegation from the S League into the Island-wide league?
So far it's not been happening, but Division 1 and Division 2, yes, there is. There's the bottom 2 will go down, the top 2 will go up. So when we are involved in the Division 2 for next season, we are aiming to go up to Division 1, hopefully.
Okay. And then you've got ESPN next to you. Are you guys in the same... James, how do you see it? Are you in the same arena? Are you competing with each other, helping each other? How's it work?
I think the players Kai deals with is slightly older. We go up to U15s, U16s. Right. So we're kind of providing a platform for these players to go on to work with Kai's teams.
Yeah, nice. Yeah. And then recently I see on Facebook that you're representing a lot of players as well?
Yes, I do.
So you're like a FIFA agent?
Yeah, I mean, right now we have actually a lot of players who are looking for clubs, and they actually come up to me and they ask that, could you help? We have local players, we have foreign players. I've actually signed up partnerships with a Malaysia counterpart. They are called the Arena Hitam Kuning, which means Arena Black Yellow Resources. They are our KL partners, and then we have Total Football in Jakarta.
Oh, nice.
That's Mr. Roger Schultz, who actually brings in Dutch legends like Ruud Gullit to Jakarta to do a lot of activities. So yeah, they are working with these partners to actually get players to come over from Europe or even from Africa to areas in Singapore, Malaysia, Indonesia, Thailand, Vietnam even.
And these can be from any age, these guys?
Yes, they can be of any age. It depends on what the clubs are looking for. If they are specific that they want somebody who's 21 to 27, so we will look through all the profiles of who we have, and then we'll push them for trials.
Okay, so there was a trial match recently in KL? Is
Yes, right? There's a trial match tonight actually. Supposedly, but
you're supposed to be there, bro. What?
No, my Indonesian and Malaysian partners are there.
Okay. So is it a game for trialists against trialists?
Yes, it's trialists against trialists.
And then who would go? And what do you do? You invite a whole bunch of team scouts to come along and see if they like it?
The team managers, coaches will be coming down to take a look. For the specific one, we have Kuantan FA who's looking for players. So they actually they are playing against one of the trialist teams.
Okay.
So their managers or their coaches will be there, and a few other coaches from the other teams will be witnessing the match as well.
Okay.
So you can.
Is it like giving players a second chance? Is it, or giving them a
yes,
first?
it is. It is.
It reminds me, James, of what Glenn Hoddle was doing in Spain. You know, where
The Glen Hoddle Academy, yeah. I had a friend who played there, yeah. There's a couple of initiatives like that now. A lot of professional clubs have their own colleges, for example, and players who drop out the system in the UK, they'll go and join and play, and with the idea of getting a contract in a professional club, or even going over to the States. But Glen Hoddle Academy, the Nike Academy, they're all pretty successful in getting players back into football.
Is that what you want to set up here then, ultimately?
Yes, it's true. Ultimately, because for the local players, especially Singapore players, we need players to actually go out to play in different leagues, to play in leagues which is higher than the S League. That's the way that our national team could actually be
desperate
a better team.
for that. Desperate.
Yeah, we need to send a lot of these players, and these players, they are keen that they want to play in other leagues. They want to try out, but they have this fear to say that I'm not sure what to do next. So this is what I'm trying to open up this window for them to actually approach me, and then we'll try to arrange the rest.
So this is players from all around the world, or it seems to me that the players that you've got, I'm just looking at the list of players that you've got.
Yeah, I got from Liberia,
Sierra Leone,
Nigeria, Argentina.
Yeah.
Yep.
Any good ones there to watch out for? You got Kelfamus Jala, Ibrahim Madaki, Siraj Biondorolo.
One of them is a wonder kid.
Yeah.
Yeah.
On, which one?
The Ken Jala.
Is he?
Yeah.
Awesome, man.
Should go and see him play.
Really? Fast, quick?
Yeah, fast, quick, good
skillful.
Skills, yep.
Who else we got? Emmanuel Jackson, good name. And then, so Arena Hitam Kuning are handling all of that for you. So if you if you are a budding player then, so you're one of the go-to men to go to, are you?
Yeah, I am, definitely.
Okay. Because Red Card also operates our own, through Bella. Have you met Bella?
Yeah.
Yeah, operates his own, of course,
yeah.
Bella in the industry, man. Tough industry, eh?
It is. But we have to give this opportunities.
Okay. So keep an eye out for here. It says Kel Famous Jella. It's a good name. You've got famous written in your name. All right. Well, let us know how any of those players do, whether they get signed up for any clubs.
We'll know in a few days.
Really, that quick?
Yeah, we'll know.
What's
in a
the
few
pay
days.
like here?
Well, it depends on what the clubs are.
Okay, so Thailand pays more than Malaysia. Malaysia pays more.
It depends on the club, because if you're of a higher division, then of course you have a better budget. So if your sponsors are stronger, of course.
And is it easy to get work permits for these guys?
Yes.
It is?
We could get work permits for them.
What about sending Singapore, Malaysia, or Indonesian lads away to get some experience in either Europe or South Korea or Japan? Or how easy is that to get the work?
It depends really, because Japan is a possibility. Because the first thing that we need to consider is that, for example, for a Singaporean, if he's a Muslim or if he's a Malay, we need to consider his diet. If he goes to a country where it's difficult to get halal food, what's the point of actually going to a club, playing for the club, and then you don't get the food that you need, and you'll suffer, and then you miss your home, you miss your family, and then it just won't turn out right. So we got to consider the types of countries that we are sending them to as well, the type of food which is available. It's like a whole care program that we have to ensure that they get the most benefits that they could from these clubs as well.
Will Turner is watching Bournemouth against Tottenham. There's been a second goal. Guess who is on the score sheet for Tottenham Hotspur?
It's Bournemouth 1, Tottenham 1 at the Vitality Stadium. The equaliser took just 7 minutes. You have to say it wasn't coming, because Bournemouth has started ever so brightly. Even after their goal on 60 seconds, they have been the team on top and put a few dangerous balls into the Tottenham area. But a great bit of skill from Christian Eriksen set up the opportunity. He fed the ball into the area where Harry Kane latched onto it. He prodded it past the onrushing Arthur Baruch, who definitely caught him, gave away the penalty, and from the spot the England striker Kane stepped up and sent Boric the wrong way. Tottenham very quick to react. It's all square again. It's Bournemouth 1, Tottenham 1.
Thank you very much, Warren. 1-1 there at the Vitality Stadium. Kai's with us. So what's your best title what's your the biggest hat you wear then in terms of local football?
The biggest hat?
It's the chairman of the Merlion.
Yeah, chairman of the Merlion Youth League.
Okay, well how then I'll ask that question back to you again then, because there seems to be a lot of youth leagues here. I presume you're all trying to complement each other in a way. There seems to be plenty of initiatives, plenty of cash here.
I think first and foremost, we're looking after the needs of the players in Singapore. There's competition in terms of who gets these players, but I think the healthy thing for Singapore and football in Singapore is that there's so much now and there's so much passion for football in Singapore that people want to create a platform, people want to create opportunities for players, and I think in the next few years you'll definitely see the standard of players in Singapore rise as a result.
So you run this league. I mean, ESPN would have, we spoke to JSSL yesterday, they would have elite academies, next gen academies as well. What is the Merlion Youth League doing anything like that? Holding any camps or any special tournaments?
We are actually keen to actually do international tournaments once a year, probably, where we get maybe the champions or all-star team to actually play teams from overseas. And then we'll just create that hype from there.
Okay, we're doing that already with the Lions Silly Cup, right?
Yeah, that's the one.
We can't just do that. We're doing it.
Oh, we can do it together.
Hey, let's do it together.
Yeah, we can do it together. We can send a team over, and then you guys. I mean, we can have all the overseas teams to come over, and then we'll play 2 groups of 4.
Yeah, it's a good way of doing it. I think that I love watching those kids play because for sure, guaranteed. We had Liverpool over recently. I don't know if you were here in Singapore when they came over.
I actually went away the day they came over.
Oh, did you?
I was on holiday.
Okay. Tottenham looked different class, and that one of those geezers in the middle of the park, I forget his name. He's going to be playing Premier League in 2 or 3 years' time. He's going to be the next Harry Kane, that sort of thing. What else? What's this? Adrian K. What's that?
That's the company name which we're under.
Oh, okay.
So all the businesses go under Adrian K Singapore.
Okay.
Yep.
And who's that? Who is Adrian K?
Adrian K is just a name which I coined up. Basically, Adrian is one of my daughter's name.
Yeah.
She is Irina Adrian, so I use her name Adrian and a K, which is my name and my daughter's name K.
Oh, nice, bro.
Yeah. So Adrian K Singapore.
Okay, good. And you're a big Liverpool fan?
I'm not a Liverpool fan. I'm a Chelsea fan.
Oh, good.
Play you next week.
Yeah, Liverpool and
Saturday.
Chelsea.
Good time to play Chelsea, I think.
Yeah, good time to play Chelsea. Chelsea is, I'm not really sure what's wrong with them. It seems that all the teams have found out how to get past Chelsea, how to beat Chelsea. But then we got to freshen things up. I just felt that yesterday the red card was kind of stupid. But other than that, I think Chelsea could have fought the game when without the red card, and it could be a draw, maybe a Chelsea win.
I thought you were a bit unlucky. I mean, Fabregas. It seemed to be I think Bilic said this really well. It seemed to be a matter of opinion.
Mm-hmm.
There were no mistakes made by the referee. Just difference of opinion. That was it.
Yeah.
And I think Jose's well within his rights not to talk to the press after those kids were doing that stupid filming, and the press sensationalising it once again.
Yeah,
I think he's spot on. I think you've been a bit unlucky.
Yeah.
Mind you, we beat you 3-1 last week.
Oh, you like that, huh?
Okay, it's been great to have you in the studio. If anyone is thinking they're good enough to maybe play professionally, what can they do to get in contact with you?
They can email me, adriank.sg@gmail.com, or they can WhatsApp me at 97325322.
That number again.
97325322.
Now you have another hat where you bring out former players as well. Is this true?
Yeah.
Okay, who's the next big name player on the way?
I'm not sure who I'm bringing, but it depends on my Indonesian counterpart.
Okay.
Yeah,
But
because
he's going to be Dutch, is he?
It could be Dutch, yeah.
Okay.
He could be Dutch because we wanted Rohullit in Singapore, but there was no taker, so he did an event in Jakarta instead.
He's going to cost a lot of money, that's why.
Yeah, these legends, they really cost a lot of money.
A little bird tells me, well, he's not that little and he's not a bird. It's my producer saying that Khalid Belarus could be on the way.
Probably. I don't know.
Okay. What kind of information is this, Nick Lim?
We'll inform Nick when something's really firmed up.
I saw on his Facebook page it said Khalid Belarus wants to come to
he wants
Singapore.
to come. Yeah. So how much would he cost me?
He wants to come to play in Singapore.
He wants to play.
He wants to play here.
But he used to play for Chelsea.
Yeah, he used to play for Chelsea. I think he played in the Dutch leagues as well. But I don't know. Something happened to him. He was in Chelsea, and then it's either he got injured or something. And then after that, he was not himself out thereafter. So something is mine. That's what
happened to a few players at Chelsea. I'll give you the tip.
Yeah.
Hey, the Shevchenko, Torres.
Yeah, Torres.
Who's the centre back? Bogard.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Bogard. Just he was like sitting down and getting his money.
Yeah. Hey, another goal at the. It's not Liberty Stadium, is it? Vitality Stadium. I wonder who it's gone to. Here is Warren Ashurst.
Well, I'll tell you what, we've had a cracking game so far at the Vitality Stadium. It might have been the least talked about match of the afternoon, but we've already had 3 goals within 17 minutes. The latest has come in favour of Tottenham. They've turned things around, having been 1-0 down. They're now 2-1 in front. A free kick on the far side was taken short by Christian Eriksen to Danny Rose, who in a central position from 25 yards let fly. His shot was well struck, but it got blocked, deflected fortuitously straight into the path of Moussa Dembele. The former Fulham man ran onto it, and from 10 yards out would make no mistake slotting it in past Arthur Baruch. Spurs have really responded well to falling behind early doors, and they now lead. It's Bournemouth 1, Tottenham 2.
Thanks very much, Warren. It's the Andy Penders Show on Red Card Live, wherever you're watching around the world. Welcome. Thanks for your company. We've got Harrison Lim and Andrew Gann just sitting outside. They're big Manchester United fans. All right, boys. Yeah. Still goalless, though, James Gow.
Yeah. City have had the better of the two teams. 20 minutes gone. City are the ones that look like they're going to create something, and like we suspected earlier, they're hitting United a lot on the break. They've got a lot of pace on the break, and Sterling and Yaya Toure bombing forward. I fancy them to create a couple more chances.
Kai's also with us. Kai, it's been great to have you with us, actually. Letting
Thank
us
you,
know
Andy.
What's been going on. Anything else we should be wary of?
Wary.
I mean, you're doing so much at the moment, but...
Yeah, I mean, with the S-League coming up to the close for this season, if there are players who are actually looking for other opportunities, they are always welcome if they are not getting a contract. So free agents, if you're available, come to me. Let me help you sort out something, probably in Malaysia or even in Thailand. And then we'll see what we can do.
All right, good to have you on the show, Kai. Let's get to Will Turner. He's watching the Manchester derby.
Still goalless at Old Trafford. Again, they play breakneck speed, which is not really adding to the spectacle, but it allows one or two nice touches to be shown. It is like one of those training ground exercises for anybody. It's just a single touch before they close down. Closest we've come so far, Raheem Sterling booking the trend of the game, which has been all about United possession and pressure. Sterling inside the United box, shuffling sideways, just having a shot, nibbled away at the point where riddled away the target. Otherwise, no keeper has very much to do, has to be said. It's probably teams.
It's a red card, and he should get 2 red cards. That's got the red card out.
Red Card Sports Radio, the best sports station in Asia.
This weekend on Barclays Premier League Live, Liverpool versus Southampton from Anfield.
Milner will take right footed. Good delivery, and Danny Ings heads Liverpool in front in the Merseyside derby. This is Mane. He's got options right and left. Peller in space. 3-1 Southampton. Absolutely incredible at Stamford Bridge.
Hear every kick on Barclays Premier League Live.
You're in the mix with Andy Penders on Red Card Sports Radio.
This weekend on Barclays Premier League Live, Manchester United versus Manchester City from Old Trafford.
Young drives it across the face of goal. Mata! 3-0. Juan Mata puts the icing on the cake.
It's another testing cross. Aguero slides in the far post. He's only got 5. Sergio Aguero, lethal.
Hear every kick on Barclays Premier League Live.
You're with Andy Penders on Red Card Sports Radio.
Welcome to the Andy Penders Show. I'm laughing because every time that beat kicks in, Nick Lynn, my producer, just looks at me with that kind of wry smile and gives me the point like I'm some sort of singer. It's just kind of funny. Welcome, it's the Andy Penders Show. It's been a day that's seen Tim Sherwood get the sack by Aston Villa, some 8 months in charge. It's been a day that's seen Sunderland win against Newcastle, 10-man Newcastle by 3-0. Elsewhere, it's goalless between Manchester United and Manchester City, and Bournemouth are trailing Tottenham by 2-1 despite taking the lead. It gives us the opportunity now, we've got an hour and a half left of the show, to review what happened on Saturday. Goodness me. Where to start? Easy. West Ham 2, Chelsea 1. What a game we saw here. Plenty of talking points. Mauro Zarate firing West Ham into the lead with his first goal. I think first goal for West Ham this season. Might have been second, not sure.
Here comes the corner. It's come a long way. It's going to come out for a shot, and it's a goal to West Ham. The shot came in from the far side, and it's an absolute pile driver by Mauro Zarate. The corner went a long, long way, and West Ham's first goal against Chelsea in 6 Premier League games gives them the lead at Upton Park. Jose Mourinho thought his problems had begun to wane. Oh, no, they haven't. West Ham 1, Chelsea 0.
Of this season, his first goal at Upton Park. Thank you very much. Then what happened when the Nemanja Matic got sent off for 2 bookable offences? Jose wasn't happy, had a word with John Moss in the half-time interval, got himself sent off up into the director's box, and then with 10 men, Chelsea got an equaliser through Gary Cahill.
Here comes the corner from Willian, down towards the back post. Zuma fighting for it. Is it going to come for Cahill? It is! Chelsea level! We said they're better with 10 than 11. They've proven it. West Ham struggled with set pieces in the first half. They've been punished early in the second. No reaction from Mourinho, but the champions fighting like the champions we know them to be. West Ham 1, Chelsea 1.
And then 79th minute, substitute Andy Carroll coming on, scoring the winner.
Cresswell's ball in towards. Oh, it's Andy Carroll! Chelsea are behind at West Ham once again! West Ham 2, Chelsea 1! Andy Carroll brought on to do a job in both boxes! Has done the best job he possibly could! A goal for Carroll, his first since January! And Upton Park rises to acclaim their number 9 once again!
I tell you what, if ever there's a result to unify everybody, right from everyone in the production room to everyone here, everyone's like, Andy Carroll,
Gets in there.
Hey, Remy's a West Ham fan. Remy, just give us, paint us a picture, will you? Because you were with a load of West Ham fans yesterday. How crazy was it?
You see, I gotta tell you the truth. I wasn't with the boys in Unka Bunka, but when that $15 million worth of missile flight through the air and hit past the goalkeeper, my heart skipped a beat. I thought I almost died.
Brilliant.
And that is one hell of a £50 million worth spending, I tell you.
Wow, what a result.
Oh, you tell me about it. First, we hammered Arsenal, then we hammered Man City, then we hammered Liverpool, or is it the other way around? And now Chelsea. Next up, Man U, you know what to do, man. Watch out for the hammers.
Watch out for the hammers, hey. Is this a top 6, top 4, top 3? Are you going to win the league?
See, truth be told, I'm going to quote from Slaven Bilic, right? You're going to be realistically optimistic. We're on the roll for the moment, but we're not going to take things for granted, man. Stay humble. The league ain't over till it's over.
Yeah, but you've played all the tough teams now once, and look at you.
You bet. But the funny thing is we keep losing or drawing with the lousy teams or the so-so teams, you know, and that's really, really frustrating.
Oh dear! I didn't see the whole match. I must admit. Did you deserve all 3 points?
Oh, to be honest, we fought really, really hard. Chelsea came 1 man down, and they played like they were fighting for their lives of 10 men in the second half. But you know what? Made a better team win with the $15 million rocket flying up in the air and scoring a 2-1 winner. Yeah, we sure deserve that 3 points for sure.
I wonder how good a team you would be without Dimitri Payet.
Oh, you bet. There's a particular scene I remember from the second half that he volleyed up in the air, chest it down, and passed it across. If that was been a goal, that would be super classic, man. Among the group chat, everybody was just kowtowing to Payet like he was a god.
He's different class. And Lanzini as well.
You bet. Lanzini and Pai has been a dynamic duo that's causing a lot of teams a lot of trouble. Let's hope the dynamic duo just keep up the good work and keep giving teams a hard time.
Hey, Remy, good to talk to you. Congratulations on your team's latest victory.
Thanks very, very kindly. Looking forward to hosting the next show, okay? All the best now, boys.
Yeah, come on the show, bro. Yeah, we'd love to have a West Ham fan. Come on.
Oh, you sure? Oh, we love to create some havoc in the studio, for sure. But thanks again for having me in the show. It's really, really been a good time. So, come on, you Hammers.
Come on, you Irons. Yeah, love it.
Good night, guys.
Good night, Remy. Thank you very much. This Remy is a West Ham fan and very happy indeed. It's West Ham's best start to a Premier League season after 10 games. They've got 20 points. Harrison, I think the sending off was fair, wasn't it? Two yellows for Matic.
I would say Mourinho is pretty much running out of excuses. The replay very clearly shows that the ball did not cross the whole of the line. So. So it's not like it's definitely not a Luis Garcia moment right now. So I'm not sure what he's gonna go with right now. So I would say it's fair. It's a fair result.
Because on the Steve McBain said, look, even on the Chelsea forums now, we're talking about this goal that, but it wasn't a goal because it didn't go over the whole of the line, but it was millimeters. Did you see it? Millimeters. Now, because it's a chalk line, right?
Right.
That's not a solid line to me. That's because it's chalk and the grass on it. It's never 100% solid.
True.
Anyway.
No, well, I mean.
Anyway, my point was on the Chelsea forums, they're saying that the goal line technology is against them now.
Well, they're just grasping at straws right now. I mean, like in terms of like compared to tennis, like this is based off of tennis technology, and those are like even smaller margins, and they get like a pretty accurate decisions. So they're not going to contest.
And then Josie gets mouthy at halftime. Goes to John Moss in the tunnel, Andrew, and obviously says a few unpleasant words, and then his assistant or one of the other coaches gets sent off as well.
I think right now there's just a lot of frustration in the Chelsea dressing room right now. As in the yellow card from Matic was just so unnecessary. It's 45th minute. You just shepherd the guy into the corner, get your entire team in the dressing room. You regroup. You come out. You try to catch back on the scoreline. But he just did the last thing that he could ever done and just bring the guy down. So but I was extremely disappointed with John Terry actually, because he was the captain of the team at the point of time. So afterwards, Fabregas got a yellow card. Diego Costa got involved, yellow card. The whole entire team was fuming. Just so much frustration going on. We just need a cool head at a point of time, but that was just missing.
John Chan is a Chelsea fan. We'll get to him in just a moment because there's been another goal at the Vitality Stadium. And
Stadium.
Artur Boruc has had an absolute nightmare.
It is now at Bournemouth 1, Tottenham 3 at the Vitality Stadium, and the latest goal is courtesy of Eric Lamela, but it's gone down to a real goalkeeping howler from Eric Boruc. To be honest with you, it's the second mistake of the game from Boruc, who gave away the penalty for the equaliser for Spurs. This time Harry Kane did ever so well getting away to the byline on the left hand side. He chipped in across, which did take a deflection, and maybe Boruc's eye was taken off it, the ball by Distan being right in front of him, but either way he should have done better. He dropped the ball right at the feet of Lamela, and from 4 yards out he is not going to miss from there. Prods it into the empty net, and Bournemouth with a massive uphill task now. Having been in front, they find themselves 3-1 behind.
Thanks, Warren. Must be Artur's not so clever goalkeeping brother Eric in goal.
No wonder they conceded then.
No wonder he's done that. Hey, John Chan is a Chelsea fan. Hi, John.
Hello.
Oh yeah, you're sounding miserable, my friend.
Yeah, I got a bit of a flu. I had a little bit of time to think, so I guess I'm a little bit more rational now than I was last night.
What were you blaming last night, and how have your thoughts changed since then?
Well, okay, the first thing that actually happened was I think the two people there were three people I felt that who were actually quite culpable in a couple of really significant moments. First things first, I have to say that I think the guy who was culpable for the first goal was actually Eden Hazard. Of all people, I think he left Zarate pretty much alone. If you actually see the replay, he was closest to Zarate. I think he realized his mistake that he had left Zarate unmarked. And he tried to track back, but we all know that was way too late. So I think I have to say that Hazard, he's one of my favorite wingers, but he really was culpable for that one last night. I think we lost a ton of possession through Ramirez and Fabregas specifically. I think everyone knew that was going to happen. Ramirez, in my eyes, has always had a bit of that problem, and Fabregas has quite truly not been himself, if you really want to be honest, since the middle of last season. So I think those three guys in particular, they had a lot to talk about.
Well, I tell you what, we could also point the blame at John Terry. That was a poor clearance that led to the Andy Carroll goal, where Azpilicueta got out jumped by him as well.
Oh, sure. Well, you're talking about Andy Carroll in his heyday when he was really at his best. To my mind, from an aerial perspective, I would actually put him up there with Ibrahimovic when he was in his prime. Let's be honest. I think the terrible part of it was that he really you're talking about Andy Carroll right now being able to score against us. I think that was the part that was a little bit painful for me to take last night. It didn't just kill the game, but the fact that it was him. Terry's clearance, to my mind, yes, it was definitely a little bit of it was a howler.
Just stay on the line, John. Just stay on the line. Let's hear from the goal scorer, Andy Carroll.
Oh, it's a great feeling now. Obviously, coming off the bench anyway, it's for me, for being injured for a long time, it's great to get minutes, but obviously getting a goal, it's a great feeling, and especially after a long time, and then ending up being the winner, it's even better. I can't really explain how the feeling goes, It's just hit the back of the net, and I was just ecstatic, and I think it's shown, and I think all the lads were obviously delighted. Obviously not that just that I scored, but obviously that we're winning,
But Jose Mourinho has lost 6 of his last 12 Premier League matches.
Yep.
Ooh, you're not used to that, are you?
Sorry, could you say that again?
I'm saying you're not used to losing so many games. You had to go 64 to lose your last 12, and
to
lose your last 6 rather. I mean, what? So now, welcome to the real world, bro.
Yeah, I recognize things like that. I'm actually quite pragmatic, even in my expectations of where we're going with certain things. But I have to say that at the same time, when I woke up today, and I thought I had a little bit of a think about it. If you actually do a timeline of what actually happened, the entire process of from start to finish, or what actually happened, to my mind, actually, as soon as Matic's red card went out, to be very honest, the boys did really well from that moment. But what killed it, to my mind, was that Andy Carroll goal. If you actually take a look right through. Straight after Matic's red card, I mean, when you came into the second half, there were some actually really promising moments from 10 men, and of all people to get sent off, Mourinho, Silvio Loro. You know, when you have things like that, the morale of the guys, that's got to be crazy. Let's be honest. No one wants to face something like that. So for the guys, for a guy like Gary Cahill, and I'm extremely happy for him to get a goal off like that. And to have a couple of fluffed attempts, even though I think Ramirez, let it be said that he was in the right position. He could see what was going on. It's just that I think he lost a bit of composure. But to me, that's still spirit. So much as I'm pissed at the boys, the more objective me also kind of had a bit of time to think about it. I think there were some moments where I thought the fighting spirit was really nice. It was nice to see
You had
that.
Cesc Fabregas as well. That was a dodgy offside and millimetres away from a
that's
second
true.
goal. So all is not down. It looks like you got Liverpool at home next up.
Oh, mate, I'm worried about that one.
Well, actually, Stoke on Tuesday, then Liverpool at home, Dinamo Kiev at home, Stoke away, Norwich at home, Maccabi Tel Aviv away, Tottenham away. That's all okay. That's fine.
Yeah, well, I'm actually looking at the way that everyone's going on. Look, we got Klopp, and I like your tone of voice there, because that's very much how I feel. Yeah, we're going to be okay. But I have to say that I'm not giving up on the boys. I still get the feeling that something will happen.
Does Jose Mourinho stay in your books?
Yes, to be very honest, yes. I still say he's got to be the one. If optimistically, I think he'll be rallying the boys. I thought that, to be honest, his no response last night told me a lot about how he actually feels. And to my mind, no one can be harder on himself than Jose.
Yeah, I agree.
Do you know what I mean?
I agree totally, absolutely. Hey, John, good to have you on the show. Thank you very much. We'll give you a call, no doubt, next week when you're taking on Liverpool.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
All right.
We've got two Manchester United fans in the studio today, and Harrison and Andrew. Harrison, how's that Manchester derby shaping up for you?
It's going pretty good. Currently, Manchester City are having the greater share of the possession right now. They're looking really good, as James said. They're playing on a counter attack. They break with speed, have great speed. Man United are playing really well in terms of keeping their shape. They're not allowing them to break through the ranks. Doing really well. No real clear-cut chances so far. But looks pretty even so far.
We're reviewing what happened on Saturday. West Ham beating Chelsea by 2-1. Let's hear from the West Ham manager, Slaven Bilic, because he was very proud of his players.
We played good. I think we deserve to win, and it is. I mean, every win is like it's a Premier League, home or away, is important. It makes you happy and all that. And to be fair, away wins against the big clubs are more historical ones because you are waiting 50 years or whatever, and they are more shocking than the home wins. But it's about the home win. I mean, you want to win at home, and when you do it like in a style, when you do it against the champions, because you want your stadium to be happy, to be buzzing and all that, and that's what it's all about. So that's why we are even more happy and more proud today.
Very, very happy because West Ham have now won 3 Premier League London derbies so far this season. Meanwhile, it's Chelsea's worst ever start to a Premier League campaign after 10 games, just those 11 points. Steve McBain, regular co-host, is on the line. He's a Chelsea fan. Hi, Steve.
Hey, how are you guys?
Yeah, really good, thanks. I'm sort of siding, as did Chelsea fan John Chan, with Jose Mourinho at the moment. Thought you were a bit unlucky yesterday. Think he's doing the right thing, not talking to the press. Fabregas could have got a goal, and you were millimetres away from a goal as well. So you shouldn't be too hard on the boys, should you?
Yes and no. I mean, it does feel like a lot of things are really sort of conspiring against them, you know, as you say, at the moment. But I think the problem for Chelsea is at the moment is that Mourinho has always fostered these siege mentalities, and it's typically resulted in a positive, in a positive outcome and better performances. But at the moment, I don't know whether this negativity, around Mourinho is actually contributing to things a little bit. I mean, Matic, in particular, looks, a shell of the player he was. I mean, I thought he deserved to be sent off. It was two definite bookings, and there's just a lack of quality. I mean, I've just been sitting watching the Manchester derby just now. You just look at the zip and the tempo, in those two teams, and Chelsea just don't have it at the moment. Look, I mean, all the fans are firmly behind Mourinho, as am I. But yeah, I mean, it's really not good.
When was the last time you had this zip and tempo? I always associate Jose Mourinho's sides with. Well, sometimes. I mean, first half of last season you were pretty entertaining, and then it all sort of stopped.
Yeah, I mean, it really. I think the writing was not on the wall, but the first signs were there with the Spurs result on, I think it was January the 2nd when they conceded 5, and then they conceded 4 to Bradford as well. I still think there's an issue with the goalkeeper. I think Chelsea took the pragmatic decision in bringing in Courtois and moving on Cech. I mean, he's the younger keeper and he's the future, but Arsenal are starting to look better at the back. As Cech's influence improves there. And I just looked at Chelsea yesterday. I mean, you had Zuma, Terry, and Cahill, 3 of your back 4. And when Andy Carroll scored, he was up against Azpilicueta. You got 3 really, really strong, physical, good guys in the air, and then there just isn't the same organisation at the moment. I wonder about the communication at the back. I mean, it was obviously difficult when you're down to 10 men, but things are just not working for them.
Yeah, I agree with that. I'm not going to blame Azpilicueta there. I think it was John Terry's mistake, and that could be stemming from Courtois at the back, because Terry's done that clearance, and no one you could see, but Carroll pointing for the ball right in between Azpilicueta and Terry, and but very bad.
Yeah, I mean, I think everyone is firmly behind Mourinho. Well, everyone I've spoken to, amongst the Chelsea fans, still very firmly behind Mourinho. But 5 losses in 10 games. I mean, I don't know how much longer this can go on.
Yeah, it's bad, bro. Tell you what, you can have 6 out of the last 12 as well, if you like, for Jose Mourinho.
Yeah, I mean, it is really, really terrible. I do wonder about some of the decisions as well with the playing staff. I mean, there's a very good left back, I think, playing at Southampton this season by the name of Ryan Bertrand, who was sold for about half the price that they brought in Baba Rahman for. Someone that understands the club. Is up to speed in the Premiership. I still wonder about some of the the decisions on playing personnel. But and Mourinho's behaviour as well concerns me. It's just getting more and more erratic, and you almost wonder whether he's trying to force something to happen or whether it's just more deflection.
Is he trying to get himself sacked?
It has. It certainly occurred to me. I was talking to my stepfather actually on the phone earlier, and we had that conversation. You just wonder, whether it is getting a little bit too, a little bit too difficult for him. But I certainly hope not. But it's a long, hard road ahead, and it's very difficult to see now where Chelsea's season can go. I mean, I'd still like to think that they have the quality, to make the top 4, but you just can't keep losing, all the time like this. I mean, with these kind of performances, they just look a mid-table side.
Hey, you got the League Cup coming up this Tuesday, bro. Bit of Stoke City, Capital One Cup.
Yeah, I mean, look, I think Chelsea just need to get some. They just need to get some confidence from somewhere, and the only way that's going to happen is by winning, a couple of games in succession. I mean, they're going to have an interesting game up against Liverpool next weekend. So I'm hoping Southampton can do a number on Liverpool tonight, so that they go into the game with a bit of pressure on them as well. But it's difficult. But they just need to start winning games.
Well, Steve, you know what? No one cares about that. Everyone's so happy that Chelsea are losing. But
I know they are.
Yeah, it's great. That's how it feels to be a football fan. Hey, good to talk to you, Steve.
No
look forward to seeing
guys.
you soon.
All right, cheers.
What about Andy Carroll, James? I mean, he hasn't started yet this season. I don't think he has anyway.
Don't think so.
He came on for 20 minutes last weekend, made a big impact. Another big impact this weekend.
I think, first and foremost, I think everybody should be happy for Carroll because he's had a lot of injury problems, and to come back and score a goal like that. And we've seen a couple of them goals when he was at Liverpool. He scored a similar one in the FA Cup semi-final against Everton, and I think any time you have him in the box, he's going to be dangerous, and he's clever with what he does. And we said there, he preyed on Azpilicueta. It was a small play. He's pulled away. He's played on him, and he's won the header and he scored the goal. And I think anytime you've got to play like him in the box, you've got to play to his strengths, and he will get goals for you from them positions.
Half time at Old Trafford. What's been happening, Harrison?
Well, it's all the score's even 0-0. Nothing much has happened by way of goals or any significant action. You can see Valencia really tearing down the right flank. He's pretty much keeping Sterling pretty quiet. He's doing a number on him. All across the park, you don't really see. You can
basically, it's rubbish.
Is
that what you're telling me? It's a rubbish game. It sounds awful.
Hasn't took off yet.
Hasn't took off. Let's just forget about the first half then. Next up for West Ham, they go to Vicarage Road on Saturday to take on Watford. Then they've got Everton at home, Tottenham away, and then West Brom at home. That all seems rather tasty. All seems like West Ham could go on and West Ham top 5 this season. Yes or no, James?
No.
Andrew?
Yes.
Ooh.
Yes.
Harrison?
5th or 6th, I think.
Okay, yeah. Okay, so sort of yeah and no.
Yeah,
sitting on the fence then.
Yeah.
What about this Arsenal side? They went to the top of the Premier League for the first time since February 2014. Headers from Olivier Giroud and Laura Koscielny helped to defeat Everton by 2-1.
Darren Affair looking to race now over halfway. Into the feet of Barkley, who's streaming forward here. He's got a chance to attack the edge of the Arsenal penalty area. Drives it in left footed, deflected and into the back of the net. In the 44th minute, Ross Barkley has given Everton a lifeline at the Emirates. A goal at a vital time for the Toffees. And Ross Barkley scores his 4th goal of the campaign. It's the 3rd goal in the space of less than 10 minutes in North London. It's Arsenal 2, Everton 1.
Yeah, Arsenal would hold on. You're just playing out Everton's consolation goal there, Nick, eh?
Yeah, I did. You know, but if I played out Koscielny's second goal, then they would say 2-0.
Oh, yeah, that's just very true.
And I don't want to confuse anyone.
Okay,
right?
I'll remember that for next week. Let's hear from both managers. Arsene Wenger said it was important to back up that win against Bayern Munich.
What was more important for us today is to show that after such a big game against Bayern, we can come and win again today, because that needed desire, solidarity. And when the legs became heavy, you have seen that people like Özil, Cazorla threw their bodies into block shots or crosses, and that is of course something very important.
We'll hear from Roberto Martinez in just a second. In the meantime, those half-time whistles have sounded around the country. First up, let's get Will Turner's take on the game at Old Trafford.
Half-time at Old Trafford, no score, no meaningful strikes on goal either. What half chances have been created have been delivered by the visitors. Sterling a half chance early on, and Toure with a couple of efforts that couldn't quite test the keeper. It is intense, frenetic, fast and energetic, but so far inconclusive. 0-0.
Thank you, Will. Let's get to Warren Ashurst, who's seen 4 goals.
Stunning first half of the Vitality Stadium, where it's Bournemouth 1, Tottenham 3. A home side in front within 60 seconds, where Matt Ritchie's strike fired in at the near post, but it took Spurs just 7 minutes to equalise. Boruk's foul on Kane, and the England international stepped up from the spot to make it 1-1. It was 2-1 to Spurs on 17 minutes. Danny Rose's deflected shot straight into the path of Dembele, who slotted home, and then on 29 minutes, Harry Crane's deflected cross was dropped by Boruk, and Lamela tapped it in. Spurs lead 3-1 at the break.
It's the Andy Penders Show on Red Card Live. We've got Harrison Lim, Andrew Gann and James Gow in the studio with me. We've overseen Tim Sherwood getting sacked. We've seen Sunderland beating Newcastle by 3-0. Currently goalless between Manchester United and Manchester City, and Tottenham lead Bournemouth by 3-1. We've also all predicted that Southampton will beat Liverpool a little bit later. I'm just joking, we haven't. How are you getting reaction to Arsenal's big win against Everton? We've heard from Arsene Wenger, who said it was important to back up their win against Bayern Munich. What of Roberto Martinez, where he actually thought his side should get something from the game?
Clearly, I felt we should have got something out of the game, but you cannot hide the disappointment of giving such a soft 2-goal lead, probably because maybe we switched off at that point. You couldn't see Arsenal creating too much, and you switch off 1 second and you're going to get punished, especially when Arsenal are in such a great moment of form. So overall, the performance is highlighted by a great reaction and a brave second half display that probably should have get us something out of the game, but that doesn't hide the disappointment that whoever you play, I feel we got an opportunity to win against anyone in this league, and the last 2 defeats are very hurtful.
Andrew, is Martinez right? Should the Everton have got something from the game?
I don't think he's right, actually, because they considered 2 really soft goals from Arsenal in the first half. And I think Martinez actually lacked a plan B. Lukaku is always the lone striker up front. If it's not doing well, Kone doesn't really provide a plan B for them. So I think 2-1 is fair result to Arsenal.
Problems too. Phil Jagielka limping off with a knee injury. Poor old Liverpudlians, James. The last train back to Liverpool from Euston, the 9:30, was cancelled. So they've all, after the game, they've had to peg it.
What have they done to get back out?
Well, no, they've managed
to get back on, sorry.
They've managed to get the one before. What time would that have been then? Yeah, would have done it. How long does it take to get from London to Liverpool?
About 2 hours, just over 2 hours. Not too bad at all.
On the train? God, can you imagine?
It's not as easy as well when you've been beat as well.
So
it feels a lot longer than 2 hours.
Awful. Hey, how about this Arsenal side, eh? Mesut Ozil looking strong. He's been man of the match in a number of games so far this season, Harrison.
Yeah, I think we can all agree that Ozil has always been a quality player. He always has been. I think it was it Wayne Rooney that back in the day, like he got into an argument with Ferguson. He was like, you should really sign up this guy, and he was like, well, F off. Like, well, this is not your domain, but it's really good. But there's a bit of a stereotype for Ozil that he's kind of a player that flits in and out of matches, which is a little unfair, I would say, because like he is the kind of player that brings a lot to the side. Like his vision is unparalleled. He's really good over short distances. He's an incredibly quick player. And I think when he was at Real Madrid, like Mourinho always subbed him off at like 60, 70 minutes or something like that, like consecutively, like a lot of matches. But I think he's found a lot of form at the right time. He's been, I think the injury he had last season really helped him a lot. He spent a lot of time away from the side. time in the gym, working out, and like bulking up to get used to the rigors of the British Premier League. And you can see it on the field now. Like, he's doing really good.
Yeah, it's 7 assists so far for Mesut Ozil. Eric is an Arsenal fan. Hi, Eric.
Hey, hi.
We're just purring about your superstar German midfielder.
Yes. I mean, he's been doing well for us this season. You know, I think if you've seen the last few games, he's really stepped up in terms of. Apart from the obvious stats like the assists and the goals, the amount of effort he put in each game.
And that's what you want to see. You want to see effort from players, don't you? That helps a lot.
Yeah, I mean, I guess a lot of the media has been giving him a tough ride, you know, and in fact some other fans as well, especially for those who do not watch the entire.
This is it. I think you're spot on, man. A lot of people make a lot of conclusions by just not even watching even the highlights.
Yeah, I mean, first of all, a lot of people come to conclusion just by watching highlights. And they think, he looks a bit lazy, a bit languid, you know. But if you look at him, you know, week in, week out, and see the amount of effort they puts in, and you can just track the amount of the distance that he runs. He's easily among the top 3 in a match.
Are you talking top 3? Can Arsenal make it top 1 this season?
Well, it's possible.
It's possible, right?
It's possible. We are going to be there and thereabouts.
I'll tell you what, Swansea away next up for you, then Bayern Munich away, Tottenham at home, West Brom away. It all seems pretty straightforward again.
No, I mean, it's never straightforward with the Arsenal.
Well, this is it. All the callers yesterday were saying, this is the sort of game that Arsenal are going to lose. That's what we do. But you didn't. You got through it. It was a sticky second half, but you looked all right.
Yeah, I mean, it could be the sort of game in maybe in 2 or 3 seasons ago we might have considered, you know, in the second half and gotten away with just a point, you know. But you know, it's the resilience and you know when the fatigue set in and people like Gabriel that tackle on Lukaku at the end, and you saw his reaction after that, and you saw what it meant to him and to the whole team. And Peter Cech, that save, he had to keep it at 2-1, you know, with minutes to go. That's exactly why we bought him.
It's exactly why you made just one signing in the close season. You've got, and look at that save against Lewandowski during the week. He's helped you again. He's looking good, bro.
That was a game changer. You know, it could have been 1-0 to Bayern, and you know, 0-1. If you go down, the first goal is always really important. If you go down at home to Bayern, the whole complexion of the game changes. You know, so. Exactly.
Good, Eric. I'm glad you're happy, bro. I'm glad you're happy. We'll talk to you next week and see if you're equally as happy. There's Eric and Arsenal.
Hopefully.
What about this Arsenal side, James? Do they play very differently to how they set up against Bayern Munich midweek?
Yeah, definitely. I think you're seeing a lot more fluidity in the Arsenal's play yesterday. I think they had something like 25% of the possession against Bayern Munich, and then you watch yesterday, they dominated possession about 60% compared to Everton's, and Everton are a decent team as well in terms of passing the ball and keeping possession of the ball. So Arsenal, I think they created a lot of chances yesterday, and they definitely play with more of the fluidity that you associate with Arsenal.
Okay. Well, I agree. I'm just wondering how unlucky Everton were.
To be honest, I think from the highlights I've saw, I don't know if I watched them from somebody else, but I thought Arsenal were on top. Everton had a few chances, but Everton gave away a couple of cheap goals, and it's easy to say, well, they're your mistakes, but don't make them mistakes.
I'll tell you what, they got a nice little run now of Everton. Sunderland at home, 3 points. West Ham away. West Ham aren't that good at home, apparently, even though they just beaten. Villa at home. It's all right. Bournemouth away. It's all right. Yeah, I'd say it's all looking quite good.
0 out of 12, I think, for Everton.
Is it a friendly hatred that?
Yeah, it's an interesting one.
Is there any violence? Put it that way.
No, there's not so much violence, but there's. If Liverpool play Everton, most of my mates are Evertonians. I won't speak to them for a good week or so after the game. if Everton win, if Liverpool win out, I'll call them straight away. But most of the lads I've got, the Evertonians get a nickname as being bitter. But I think there's a rivalry, and it's getting hotter and hotter as it increases. And I think there was a time it used to be a really friendly derby. I think a lot more now it's ferocious, and you know they have a real win to beat each other. It always steps up on derby day.
Brilliant, love it. Leicester up against Crystal Palace. How about this Leicester side? Jamie Vardy scoring in his 7th successive Premier League game. The Foxes up to 4th in the table.
A poor pass from Hangeland might put him under pressure here, and it's Vardy who's through. Vardy gets around the keeper, and Jamie Vardy scores! 7 goals in 7 matches. A mistake at the back by Crystal Palace, and he's the man who just can't stop scoring. Who punishes them? Leicester 1, Crystal Palace 0.
Let's hear from both of the managers. First up, Claudio Ranieri is Italian, and that means he likes clean sheets.
Like an Italian manager, I want the clean sheet all the matches, and maybe this day was an Italian match because it was very tactical match, and just the last 10 minutes was English match with a lot of delivered ball in our box.
Let's hear from Alan Pardew because he thought his side should have gotten something from the game.
Frustrated really that we haven't come with something out of the game because our shape, our discipline was really good, and we pushed hard. A mistake opened the game up, and unfortunately we couldn't get the equaliser.
So Andrew, Vardy joining quite an exclusive club.
Yeah, the last person that scored 7 goals was from Van Nistelrooy, I guess.
Was it? Yeah. Nice.
Van Nistelrooy. So
can you name this? There's 7 of them, isn't there?
Yeah.
5 English ones.
That's right.
Plus 2. So go on, who are they? Or would you know?
Thierry Henry, I remember one. Alan Shearer.
Yep.
I kind of...
Andy Cole? Nah,
not Andy Cole.
James?
Sturridge.
Daniel Sturridge, yeah.
Van Nistelrooy.
Yeah.
Alan
Wright.
Shearer.
Right, Ian Wright. Yeah, you got Alan
Adebayo, I got Adebayo here.
Is it Adebayo as well? I haven't got him down. I got Alan Shearer and I got Mark Steen. Who's he? Mark Steen, you're only too young, you. Hey, this is going to lead us to Euro 2016.
But what I love about Vardy is just not his goals, but it's the energy he has.
He looks knackered when he comes off the pitch, right?
Exactly, he chased down lost crosses, he actually closed down players and all that. But actually, I noticed him when we lost 5-3 to Leicester City last year. So I think he's a great player, and I have actually some Liverpool fans who actually hoping that James Vardy would join them because the kind of energy he provides to the Liverpool club could be something new that Jurgen Klopp would like to have in his new setup altogether. So it's really refreshing to see someone who can last the entire 90 minutes with some with the kind of energy he has.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's 19 goals he's had a hand in now in his last 20 Premier League appearances, 14 goals and 5 assists. And the first clean sheet of the season for Leicester as well. What does that mean for the Leicester players?
Well, pizza. Possibly hot dogs. Apparently, I love Ranieri. Like he's a great coach. He might be some of his methods might seem a little whimsical. Like I think Mourinho was having a dig at him back in the Serie A, saying that he made the Roma players like watch Gladiator for like to psych them up for like a derby, and he was like, no, that's not a very good motivational tactic, but he's great. I think Leicester are doing really good. Their attack is basically carrying the team right now. They're third in scoring charts behind Manchester City and West Ham. But in terms of goals conceded, they're more in line with teams which are 15 onwards, like Chelsea, Norwich, Bournemouth, Newcastle. So it's actually basically it's Jamie Vardy and what's his name? Mahrez. Yeah, they're basically keeping them up top at like 5th place. Yeah, if it wasn't for the goals, they would be pretty much where they should be, which is mid-table.
I guess so. Yeah,
bottom 10. Yeah,
they keep coming from behind as well. Like anyway, so first clean sheet. Did you manage to catch any of this game, James?
Yeah, saw the game.
What happened between Pardew? He was complaining about Ranieri not returning the ball.
I think it was just a little bit of kidology going on. I think at the end of the game, Ranieri had the ball in his hand and he was just waiting for his Leicester player to pick it up. He wasn't throwing the ball. I think Pardew gets. He associates Hanger with Pardew. A lot of the time he loses the plot, and you've seen that on numerous occasions, and I think doesn't do himself any favours.
Should Palace have got something from this game?
No, you know what? I think they didn't create too much, Leicester. But I think Leicester, for me at the start of the season, I'd tipped Leicester. I was doing a thing for 4-4-2, and I'd tipped Leicester as my team, as the underdog team that'll do well. And they recruit good players. I went to a talk from the head of scouting, and the way in which they recruit players is really clever, and they do bring good players in, and they have a real good system of bringing players in, so it's no surprise that they're doing well at the moment.
What do you mean? How do they go about it?
You have a lot of clubs who use of course, lots informed by the stats now, and they have all different methods of recruitment of players. But what Leicester do is they really have bespoke stats for what they want. They have their personal way of playing, their own philosophy of playing. But the way in which they recruit players is identified to fit exactly the profile of what they require in each position, which is a clever way of looking at players, and they kind of think outside the box. And the likes of Mahrez that they brought in and Jamie Vardy, you can see now that they're performing well.
Hey, Danny Drinkwater recorded 88 touches in the game. No Leicester City player has managed more in a single Premier League match this season. Just one defeat in 14 now for Leicester City. It's not bad, is it?
A lot of come from behind, like scorelines, like you said, shows great fighting spirit from the team. So,
and I think that a lot. You fight because you're a manager. I think half the reason, and good teammates as well. Next up for Leicester, they travel to Hull. That's in the League Cup on Tuesday. Palace play Manchester City away in the same competition. Then in the Premier League, how about this for Leicester? West Brom away, Watford at home, Newcastle away. Seems all right. And then for Palace, Manchester United at home, Liverpool away, Sunderland at home. It's getting a bit tougher. Norwich against West Brom. Shall we even review this, Nick? Right, everyone knew it was going to be a 1-0 win to West Brom, right? Or 0-0. Or 0-0. I'll give you that. But Norwich City suffering their third straight Premier League defeat. Salomon Rondon's header securing victory for the Baggies.
McLean should keep this in, and he crosses dangerously here, and it's a free header for Rondon! West Bromwich Albion strike first! Less than a minute gone in the second half, and Rondon has his second goal in West Brom colours. Brilliant ball from McLean. Rondon finishes. Norwich's woes deepen. Norwich 0, West Brom 1.
Yeah, after the game, Norwich coach Alex Neil put his hands up and said that West Brom just defended better than the Canaries.
We spoke about in the press as well about how important that first goal is going to be. I felt first half we had enough ball and sort of good areas that we were in, and a couple of decent opportunities where we could have took the lead. But obviously when you can see the goals well in the sort of second half, then you end up having to sort of chase your tail a little bit. And I think the story of the game is the fact that defensively, I think they put maybe 6 or 7 crosses into our box, and they got on the end of a few of them, nearly scored, and we must have put about 30 or 40 into their box, and they defended their box better than us. That's the bottom line. We didn't do well enough in terms of making sure that we score at one end and sort of clear our lines at the other.
Yeah, it's a fair point. Tony Pulis actually thought that Norwich actually played well as well.
I thought Norwich started really well. I thought the first 15 minutes, the crowd were absolutely fantastic for them, and they're almost sucking the ball in the back of the net. But we're resilient again. Bowes made a great save, and from that period onwards, I think we just took control. And the disappointing thing is, the quality of our play going forward really deserved more goals today, and that's been a little bit our season. We've been very, very good as a team defensively, but we just haven't had, the quality in front of goal to put the chances away.
You're with Red Card Live. It's the Andy Penders Show. We're reviewing what happened on Saturday night as we watch what's happening at the Manchester derby 5 minutes into the second half. Harrison Lim, marketing director of Stranger Soccer, is watching that game along with Andrew Gann, the founder of Stranger Soccer, and the program director of ESPN, James Gow, is with us as well. Let's get an update. Shall we? 6 minutes into the second half at Old Trafford. What's been happening, Harrison?
A couple of really great chances for Manchester United so far, mostly from set pieces. Martial just did a cute little back heel to Rooney, and they had a really good chance on goal. A bunch of corners came in, close header by Smalling, just inches wide of the post. So far, it's
that's the biased report. What's the unbiased report, James?
United are on top. Okay. They've had a couple of good chances. They had a good shout for the penalty, by the way, as well. Sterling took down a player in the box. Not sure who it was, but it looked like a penalty. Herrera. It could have been.
Herrera
was it? Yeah. It was clumsy by Sterling.
We're getting reaction to Norwich City losing at home to West Bromwich Albion. Norwich have won just 3 of their last 10 league games against West Brom. The Baggies have kept a league-high 16 clean sheets since Tony Pulis' first game in charge on the 10th of January. How do they keeping, Harrison, so many clean sheets?
Well, it's the Tony Pulis effect, isn't it?
It's his way.
It's his way. Well, aside from him getting a really, organized defense line, they also have a very interesting back line. I mean, it's 4, defenders. They're all huge guys. They're no one below 187 centimeters. Like, that's really uncommon. Like, they're really tall ball-playing players. They have Chris Brunn, who's a midfielder and is converted to a defender apparently, and he's playing really well. They need someone like that to kind of play out of the defense. It kind of helps your team a lot. And they just seem to collect a lot of clean sheets, and they're not too outstanding in terms of like goals scored or goals, but they have a lot of clean sheets, and that's really invaluable. It really is.
It was a very predictable scoreline, wasn't it, Harrison? Andrew. So beforehand we all predicted.
It's really the Tony Pulis effect. I think. The other thing that he did well was actually pre-season, when there was so many reports on Berahino actually leaving the squad, and that would actually destabilize most teams. But in fact, actually, the team spirit is pretty good over that, and then Berahino actually even did well in attack and even scored a few goals in the previous game. So,
he's looking good.
So all the results, I think, Pulis can actually kind of take credit for.
Take a lot of credit, and tough times for Norwich, James.
Yeah, I think it's going to get harder for Norwich. I don't think they've got the quality to compete at this level, and I think they've got a couple of decent players like Nathan Redmond and Howson maybe, but without them two, then if they get injured, they're not going to do too well, and I can't see it getting easier for them.
No, well, it doesn't. Everton next up in the League Cup, and then they take on Manchester City. West Brom, they take on Leicester, and then away matches to Manchester United and to Arsenal. We're reviewing what happened on the Saturday, and we're aware that there's 45 minutes left of this show, and we've still got a lot of things to talk about, including the Elite Academy at ESPN, including Stranger Soccer. We need to get onto that. Let's just complete our roundup, shall we? Producer Nicholas Dim, just give me the nod. Yeah, give me a real firm nod there as we talk about Aston Villa, who've lost their manager, Tim Sherwood, after that loss against Swansea. Swansea running out 2-1 winners. Jordan Ayew had given Villa the lead. Gylfi Sigurdsson doing what Gylfi Sigurdsson does with a free kick. And then Jordan's brother, Andre, grabbing the winner for the Swans.
Back for Barrow, lays it off nicely for Norton. Joining the attack in support on the right flank. Norton, low ball in. Ayew is there! Andre Ayew surely has picked up Swansea's first away win of the season. And it could be the final nail in the coffin for Tim Sherwood as Aston Villa boss. They led in this second half, but it's Swansea who come from behind to perhaps steal the victory. Aston Villa 1, Swansea 2, Andre Ayew.
Hey, yo. Hey, so what next for Tim Sherwood then, Harrison?
Tim Sherwood. Well, it's
for the beach.
I think he tends to manage in a very high energy kind of style. So I guess time away from the dugout would do him a lot of good. So
no surprise, James, that he's gone though, is it?
I don't think so. I think
you don't feel sorry for him at all.
Not particularly.
Trying to rally his troops, trying to integrate a whole bunch of new players into the team.
No,
taking two of his best players knocked out.
I think he's
Delph and Benteke have gone.
Harsh, isn't it?
Nah. Listen, you've got to deal with these types of things.
Well, he was trying to deal with it. He's blaming individual mistakes. He's just not had the rub of the green. Should we be siding? We can't. Why sack a manager like 9 games into the season?
If you look at the Sherwood team, can you honestly
you've
see?
given 12 players they brought in the summer.
No, exactly. You're bringing in too many players. Can you honestly look at that team and think they're going to get better under Sherwood? I think every fan that will be watching that game, I can't see it.
But look at the youngsters that he's bringing through. That's how he rolls. He rolls with young players, giving them plenty of confidence, sticking behind them, siege mentality, and then they get rid of it.
But a young player's going to get you out of this ruck that they're in at the moment. I can't see it. I think when they had it last year, they had experienced players. When Benteke came back into the team and Delph was taking charge, they had these players in the team that was getting them out of that difficult situation. And okay, you had Jack Grealish, who's a good player, but I can't see Villa getting out of this situation under Sherwood. I think he's an impact manager. I think he comes into teams, he does well for the first.
Bring him back.
Yeah, they can bring him back. That might help. It's not going to bring him back a week later, but I couldn't see it changing under Sherwood. I do think it's the right time for a change for them.
Okay, it means that who's in charge now? It's the under-21 Kevin McDonald, under-21 coach. We've already discussed with Al that David Moyes is the favourites at 6-4. Brendan Rodgers, would he fit there? Big club, Villa, eh?
Very big club.
Good
European Cup winners.
Yeah.
Hard to impose his philosophy on a team like that.
But they have really tough games coming up, so whoever comes in is going to have a hard time.
If I was a manager looking at the Aston Villa job, I would wait till these matches are over before I
What's their run? I know they play Southampton midweek. Have you got their run?
Yeah, they have away to Spurs, home to Man City, away to Everton, and home to Watford. So really tough games.
Let Kevin sort it out.
Yeah,
for
exactly.
Exactly. Yeah.
And then we come in and do the work after that.
Get your resumes nice and plumped up. Just get ready for the interview.
I think Moyes would be a good fit.
So
I think Moyes would be a good fit for
them.
them.
It does seem to fit there, doesn't it? I thought he might be a good fit at Sunderland, but actually I think Sam's better there, I think.
Yeah. Big Sam's got that.
Yeah. Wrapped up, winning that game earlier in the day, 3 goals.
But he's doing pretty good at Real Sociedad, right?
No, rubbish.
Rubbish?
Pretty bad.
Awful this season. That's why they want to get rid of him. In fact, the Spanish fans, wanted to get rid of him that badly, they learnt the English for go home. And they were singing it from the stands. Yeah, we can get onto a La Liga review a little bit later on if you like. Lots of football taking place tonight. Nick Lim's keeping across all the live football scores that are happening. We'll get to him in just a moment. We're also going to be talking Stranger Soccer and how you can just go online and pick up a game of football, which these two guys have come up with a brilliant idea. ESPN's Elite Academy programme. We'll also talk about that as well. Looking forward to that. 40 minutes left of the show. We still got to review Stoke against Watford. Did anybody see that coming? Troy Deeney and Almin Abdi both scoring as Watford spoiled Mark Hughes' 100th game in charge of the Potters.
Watford win the ball back. Really good work from Igalo. The Oblak hits it right footed from distance. What a wonderful strike from Almin Abdi. Right footed, beats Jack Butland, and Watford have to have sealed this one now. Stoke 0, Watford 2, 20 minutes left to play, and they have played the absolutely perfect away game today, sealed by a peach of a strike from Almin Abdi.
Yeah, Abdi scoring the second, but what about Igalo and Deeney? I read somewhere, I only read it, I didn't watch the whole game, watched extended highlights. Read somewhere that they could be the best partnership in the Premier League. You're not having that?
I don't know where you read that. Sorry, Deeney's first Premier League goal in 10 games.
But he's had what? He's had the most shots on target without, or most efforts on goal, and not. But I think that he might. These two might get on a bit of a. I like these two.
They scored a lot of goals in the Championship. To be fair, so they've got a good. They combine well with each other, and they've got a good understanding. But the two best strikers in the Premier League.
Who are they?
Partnership.
Who are they? Who are they?
Who would it be?
Yeah. Well, you telling me you can't?
You're talking 4-4-2. A typical 4-4-2 that narrows it down a lot.
It does narrow it down. Yeah. You're going to give Vardy and Mahrez.
Well, they play again. They play 4-2-3-1. Right, you can have it then. Yeah, 4-4-2. The only team that play 4-4-2 in the league, and you can have it.
Right. Yeah, I can't think of who else plays with two up front these days.
It's pretty rare, to be honest. You don't see a lot of teams. Yeah.
Because it's always nice to talk about partnerships, isn't it? Who's your favourite strike partnership ever?
Sturridge Suarez.
I knew that was coming. I just was waiting for that.
Yes, really? Unbelievable.
I'll eat Cole and Yorkie. Yeah, those two.
I'll go with Cole and Yorkie.
I'm going Shearer Sutton.
Ah.
Original SAS?
I like Owen Heskey.
Owen Fowler?
What about Duncan Ferguson and someone else at Everton?
Who would Duncan Ferguson the
I forgot. They were having
Kevin Campbell.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
There you go, the Liverpool team as well. Lucas Can.
Oh, the Liverpool side's out. We'll get to that in just a moment. Let's get an update for you from Warren Ashurst, who's watching Bournemouth up against Tottenham.
It is currently now Bournemouth 1, Tottenham 4 at the Vitality Stadium, and it might be game over as far as Bournemouth are concerned, and maybe, just maybe, they might be heading to a second consecutive 5-1 defeat. It's a fantastic ball from Christian Eriksen that set up the fourth goal. He's playing on the right-hand side, but he's popped up on the left-hand side this time around, and then right-footed is swung in a brilliant bending ball in towards the area. Harry Kane has drifted the other side of Sylvain Distin and has stuck out his right leg and poked it home from close range past Burrock. A second of the afternoon for Kane, a fourth from Tottenham. A long way back now for Bournemouth. It's Bournemouth 1, Tottenham 4.
With Harrison, Andrew and James, we're reviewing what happened between Stoke and Watford, the final game that we're reviewing. Xherdan Shaqiri was supposed to be the new big thing for Stoke City. How did he play?
I didn't think he played very well, actually. But we have to give him some time, because he came from a totally new country, new language and all that. So he needs time to actually gel into the team, to settle down before he actually can put out the kind of performance at Stoke City. But I love the Mark Hughes project at Stoke City right now, because he's trying to change the team totally from a long ball playing team to a short pass.
He's been trying for some time.
Yeah, but he bought the players. He bought Effelite, he bought Van Winkel, but they are starting off the bench. I don't know what he bought them, but he leaves on the bench. So I'm not sure what's he trying to do over there. But I do hope the board gives him some time to actually put the plan to reality.
They seem a good fit. Like Stoke and Mark, it just seems to fit when they were here.
Exactly.
I don't know, it just seemed to work, you know.
I'm just afraid he'll be the next Tim Sherwood.
Do you think? No, I just don't think he doesn't blow his top just as much as Sherwood does.
Not quite so much, yeah.
I like to have seen. I don't know if you remember, but Sanchez Flores would have played against Mark Hughes in the La Liga when Mark Hughes was at Barcelona.
Oh,
it was a while ago.
Yeah, all right, buddy. I understand. That's what the grey hairs.
It's like no, yeah. Didn't even have cable TV back then.
And we saw one game a year, and that was the FA Cup final.
But I think Shaqiri would be a really good addition to the squad. So it's just
for sure. With the Scouse accent, James, can you just say Xherdan Shaqiri for me?
Yeah, Xherdan Shaqiri.
Shaqiri.
That's so good. Next, Watford are home to West Ham. Stoke face Chelsea in the League Cup, and then they travel to Newcastle next Saturday. So there you go. That's all of our top flight summed up. I guess in the news at Old Trafford, the news is that there's no news. Let's go around the table. Harrison, nothing happening?
Nothing exciting, to be honest.
Thanks for your honesty, bro. Have you not been honest with us up until this point?
No.
Okay, just checking.
Okay.
Hey, I think it's time for a Manchester United quiz, just because I feel like I can. I think, James, you can get involved as well. Cause I want to see if a Liverpool fan can outdo Manchester United fans, because absolutely nothing's happening in this game.
Not much at all. Not very much.
Why is it? It annoys me. I tell you what, is going to be a good game. Liverpool against Southampton.
That will be a
good game. Cracker. Yeah, looking forward to that.
For Liverpool fans, anyway.
Yeah.
I'd love to watch a game with you later.
Question number 1. I don't know whether to do. I'll see how good you are, because I have got multiple choice.
Okay.
But I'm not going to do multiple choice. I'm just wondering if you know outright. Which United player retired with a career total of 129 caps?
129 caps. Wait, is this question for me? It's for me?
Well, it's for both of you.
Okay. Oh, could you repeat the question one more time? 129 caps.
Yeah. Which United player retired with a career total of 129 caps?
Roy Keane.
No, 129? No. He walked out of Republic of Ireland in the World Cup.
Exactly.
It has to be a goalkeeper of some sort.
Yeah, very good. Who's been a really good goalkeeper for
Van
you?
der Sar. No, Van der Sar kind of
Who's
retired.
been a really...
Peter Schmeichel?
Well done, yeah, correct. Retired in 2003. How many goals did he score for Denmark?
2.
1.
Yeah, 1. Correct.
I was going to say 2.
1994 British UK charts.
Okay.
James might know the answer to this. Who took top spot in the pop charts in 1994 with Come On You Reds?
Simply Red?
No.
I have absolutely no idea.
Was it Joy Division, Half Man, Half Biscuit, The Smiths, or Status Quo?
The Smiths.
James?
Status Quo.
Status Quo, yeah. Wet, Wet, Wet knocked him off top spot with Love Is All Around. After the 2006 World Cup, this is the tough one though. How many different United players in the past had scored World Cup goals? Was it 18, 10, 5 or 26? So
5.
I said 10.
18?
Yeah, it's 18. Ready? The list? Do you want the list? Charlton, Jordan, Robson, Whiteside, Strachan, Beardsley, Larson, Olsen, Scholes, Beckham, Blanc, Forlan, Fortune, Park, Ferdinand, Tevez, Van Nistelrooy and Cristiano Ronaldo.
Do I hear Fortune inside? Quentin Fortune?
Yeah.
Oh,
I said Fortune.
He actually scored.
Who scored the first ever Premier League goal at Old Trafford?
This one.
First ever goal at Old Trafford.
Was it for Chef Wednesday?
I have no concept of that.
I have no concept. of
Like
Life
which-
Beyond
like which-
1990.
1992. It resonates with us.
92, 93. Do you want to need multiple choice? Brian Dean, Dion Dublin, Peter Beardsley, Mark Hughes.
Peter Beardsley.
Dion Dublin.
It was Peter Beardsley. Second match of the 92 season, United going down 3-0 to Everton. After the 2006 World Cup, how many World Cup winners had played for United? Was the answer 1, 10, 4 or 6?
6.
6 is the correct answer. Can you name them?
World Cup winners.
World Cup winners.
Are they playing for United at the
Right
time
now?
of?
No, they had... Oh, yeah, they were playing for United at the time when they won the World Cup.
Right.
And there's 6 of them.
Bobby Charlton.
Bobby Charlton,
Yeah.
yeah.
Um,
You can have Styles and Connolly from that
Styles, yeah.
66, and then so 3 more.
So
98 and 2002.
98, we have France.
2002.
We have France winning the World Cup.
Yeah, you did.
We had Barthez.
Barthez.
Oh, yeah.
Right.
And then the one who used to slap him on the head.
Slap him on the head. 1990.
He used to kiss his forehead every game.
Blanc.
Laurent Blanc. And then 2002, the Brazilian.
Kleberson.
Very good. Very good. I like that. I thought that was tough.
Hang on, Andy. How many more questions do you have?
3.
3? Oh, just because I thought it'd be nice to set the scene.
Nice jingle.
We can carry on now.
Oh, I see what you're doing. You're just getting everyone a bit pumped up. We're playing the Manchester United quiz. It's 5 questions, real tough. 5 tough questions for Manchester United. Before that English ban back in 1984-85, the European ban. Look at Harrison's looking at me. Like,
84, 85. I wasn't even born yet.
How old are you, bro?
I'm born in 86.
Yeah, you're tough 20 years, tough 30 years, bro. Right.
29. Get your
big for that, mate.
Who was United's last European opponents before that English ban in 84-85?
Benfica.
Was it? No, you obviously don't know. Was it Rabaskio, Legia Warsaw, Pexi Munkas, or Videoton?
Pexi Munkas.
No, just a good name.
I don't know how to pronounce it. Rolls off the tongue perfectly.
Videoton. United were knocked out of the quarterfinals on the UEFA Cup penalties. Question number 7. Only one team scored 6 goals in a Premier League game against United in the 1990s. Who were they?
Man City.
Incorrect.
It's 1990. In the 1990s.
Oh, no, 1990s. Liverpool.
Incorrect.
Wait, 6 goals? 6 goals?
Arsenal.
Incorrect.
No. Chelsea.
Incorrect.
Tottenham.
Incorrect.
I know.
Sheffield Wednesday?
Incorrect.
Forest.
Incorrect.
Go on.
Blackburn.
Nottingham.
Why would I be asking this question?
Southampton.
Southampton,
Oh.
yeah, 6-3 at the 1996-97, Igor Lostin stat with a hat-trick. Oh, Berkovic on the score sheet as well. Matt Letizia with that lob over Peter Schmeichel.
Right.
Matt Letizia, oh, yeah.
That match. All right.
Tybee, right?
Ayo
What's our
Berkovic.
keeper?
Isn't that a guy from Manchester City? That he went to Manchester City after?
Ayo Berkovic played for, City and West Ham. More.
Right, okay. I remember that guy.
Yeah, but I always used to get him confused with Kinkladze. Very similar
Georgie.
players, Georgie Kinkladze.
Yeah.
Who was United's first international signing?
That's
These are a bit too historical. Next time they come on, I'll ask you some baby Man United questions about what's happened this year. What's happened this week at Manchester United?
Something for the younger fans.
Okay, I will do. No, you're right. I should tailor that. Was it Arnold Murin, Carlo Sartori, John Sivbeck, or Nikola Jovanovic?
Jovanovic.
Yeah, Jovanovic. Absolutely.
I'm not even going to try. To be fair. Yeah.
They were all United players, though. What was significant about Pat McGibbon's debut in the League Cup tie in 1995? Was he the first defender to score on his debut? Was he the first to be sent off and never play for United again? Was he the tallest player to ever play for United? Or was he the first qualified politician to play for United?
First qualified politician.
Incorrect.
I like the one where it says he got sent off and never got to play for United.
That is correct. You know what also was special about that game back in 1995? Manchester United losing to York City at Old Trafford. That was my first ever commentary game.
Yeah, they are.
Yeah.
Wow.
Doing it for Radio York. Radio Minster.
What score did it finish?
3-0. 3-0 to York.
3-0.
I'm calling it for Radio Minster. For
You
Radio
need
York.
to do more United games.
Return leg, United won 2-1, but York went through, played Queen's Park Rangers in the next round. Got the goal scorer wrong. Peter Barnes, I said he had a hat-trick.
He did. I bet he was happy, though.
So first day.
And Tony, who was the other one? Former Manchester United youngster, Tony Barras. Oh, check that. Tony Barras. If I get that right, I'm okay. Last question. The boys are doing really well on this Manchester United quiz. Most remember the 9-0 rout of Ipswich Town and Andrew Cole's 5-goal haul in 1995, apart from Harrison, clearly. But who opened the scoring on that famous 9-0 game against Ipswich Town? Was it
Cantona?
Was it Eric Cantona?
Giggs?
Brian McClare?
Brian.
Paul Ince? Roy Keane? Or Mark Hughes?
Ince.
Incorrect.
Roy Keane.
Roy Keane, yeah. That's your record ever victory, by the way.
9-0? Yeah.
9-0. Hey, talking of scoring a lot of goals, must be a lot of goals at Stranger Soccer. Seamless link there. So Andrew and Harrison have been looking after Stranger Soccer for how? Andrew, tell us how long it's been going on for.
We actually started the whole entire concept at the back of the 2014 World Cup, because as we grow older, we always want to play a game of football, but just can't get enough players to play with. So we said, hey, there must be other people out there who are facing the same issue as us. They want to get a game under the belt, but just can't get enough friends to play with. So we just want to marry these people together. So we create a website. So if you're available on a particular day and time and a venue, so your lack of players, anyone can simply log into the website.
This is a brilliant concept.
And just join us. Yes.
Brilliant. So have you taken the model from elsewhere in the world?
No, actually no. So
brilliant. Are you going to franchise this thing out?
I'm sure that's the eventual plan, but we got to start smalling and kind of branch out.
So how many players would you have playing with you, Andrew, on a typical weekend or week?
We are currently on futsal only, so we have about 20 games on average weekly. So we bring.
And how much does it cost to play a game?
It really depends on venue. So on average, I would say around $13 to $12.
Yeah.
So it really depends on how long
That's
you play.
That's what it costs anyway. If you get a bunch of players, and you're organising everything, eh? The pitch.
No, not exactly though, because it can be quite taxing for me to actually keep calling. Hey, I want to book this pitch. I want to book that pitch. So there are some people who have 10 players, but they have other friends who backed out, but they need another team to play with. So they go onto the website, they just find another team. So we are kind of like the middleman. So we match teams looking for players looking for teams. So we try our best not to get involved in the booking of pitches and all that, because there's a lot of risk involved.
Sure.
If we book a pitch, we can't get enough players.
But I can go online to strangersoccer.com.sg.
No, it's just strangersoccer.com.
.com. So yeah,
and book myself a game of football.
Exactly. Yeah. Well, the onus is on users to get on our site and to host games or join games. So we're just facilitating that. We're just actually making it easier for people to jump into a game.
Great for people visiting.
Yeah, for anyone that's visiting, we've had people come here on a holiday, or they're on a work visa. They're on a student visa, or just here for a conference, and they're huge football fans and they want to have a taste of Singaporean style football. And Stranger Soccer is your place to get it. Yeah.
I actually have a funny story to tell, actually, because I get a lot of inquiries with people wanting to play football. There was once I actually get a call from a hotel service counter. There was some people who want to play soccer, but they couldn't make a call to us, so they actually asked the hotel staff to give us a call and say, hey, I want to be playing tonight at Coven, for example. And then we just set everything up, and he just on his way, pack his things and just be on the day be on the pitch on the day itself. Yeah. So it's really cool. So we get to see many different people from different nationalities, different backgrounds. They really become friends, and it becomes like a lifestyle for them every single week. So it's
So what's to stop them going off and just not using you anymore?
It's more like the convenience, because nobody likes to collect cash on the day itself. I have no change. You pay you next week. I forgot about my wallet. Things like that. Blah blah blah.
Yeah.
So it can get kind of troublesome for cash payments. So we just want to keep everything online. So even though you make payment online, you can get points, for example, and redeem other stuff. Redeem a jersey, for example.
Yeah.
Yes.
We had an Uber of football, basically, or sports. Well, we were there first. technically. Well, maybe not, but
Well, I think they're worth slightly more than you now.
well, we're getting there. We're getting there. Soccer is a little bit more niche, but
So how to take it to the next phase then, guys? What have you been working on, Harrison?
So we're working on scaling up, and obviously, it's a constant battle to get the word out. Like I said, because I'm in charge of marketing, I was brought on. A shout out to our other co-founder. He's not here today. He's a little shy, so I'm here to do PR.
What's his name?
Jinwei. So he couldn't be here today. But social media, I'm in charge of the marketing aspect of Stranger Soccer, and it can be a little tricky because the landscape is changing constantly. It's really hard for you to get your word out on Facebook or Instagram. It's quite a task to manage the different marketing channels as well. So we have to kind of like constantly grow our user base. And at the same time, there might be some new functionality coming up on our website where we're going to introduce Stranger Soccer to 11-a-side football. That would be really interesting, and so definitely watch this space. Who
is your target market then? Who do you know in your mind? Have you got do you know what he looks like, what he does, what job he does?
Basically anyone who enjoys playing football, enjoys meeting people, wants to keep it clean, wants to meet new mates. Like you said, you were saying like what's to stop people from kind of like stopping, stop using our service and go off and do their own things, because a lot of people when they come to Stranger Soccer, they want to kind of like meet new people all the time. It's just really incredibly awkward to kind of like jump into a game and say you want to can I get a look in, it's always been hard,
You can't just. A pickup game is really tough to do.
It is. It truly is. Like, if you go in and you're really truly terrible, and they're gonna be like, oh, we're not gonna invite you next time. But this is entirely based on goodwill. Like, it's a community of really good people. Everyone shows up, has a good time. We have like very strict rules governing. Keep it clean, no sliding.
No blammers.
No blammers. Yeah.
No hard shots.
No Liverpool fans. Because
hey, so
just kidding.
I'd be a bit upset. I mean, I play very similar to. We've spoken about Matt Letizia in the past. Very similar to him.
I don't know where you got that from.
Actually, the centre circle. That's just for me there. I'm not allowed to operate outside of it. But I'm quite good. Let's say I'm quite good. There's a high chance that I could turn up and I'll be playing against a complete bunch of muppets, like people that aren't very good. Well, I'd like that because I'll dazzle for it. But is there? So can I actually secure myself a decent game, Andrew?
There's a very legit concern that you brought up, because if I want to truly enjoy myself, I want to be playing against somebody who is rather close to me in terms of standard. If you're too
not quite as good as me,
but get in there.
Get in there.
So you want to play against the Paul Scholes kind of people. So
absolutely, yeah.
So we have different features set in place, so that we have different types of games on our website down the road, such as beginner level, you have advanced level, or you are just a veteran probably looking for a kickabout.
That's me.
Yeah, so we kind of name them as legends. Legends.
Oh, I like it.
Legends,
good terminology. Yeah.
So we segment such games such that we can cater to different market of different skill level, people of different skill levels. So I'm sure if you want to enjoy a good game of football after work, after school, you need some activity to fill in your time, you know where to find us.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh well, and also like Andrew said, like it's very important. Like people are gonna use our service and they're gonna really enjoy using it. But at the same time, for them to want to come back, they have to find that the games are enjoyable. And for the games to be enjoyable, they have to play with people of a similar standard. So we have a matching system for people to kind of not only assess them, like designate like what their skill level is, like beginner, intermediate, or advanced. But you also have like kind of a rating system for other people. But of course, like that's up to. I mean, that's open to abuse sometimes. If you don't like a person, you can.
Yeah, but the whole thing's community led. Everybody
it is
wants
exactly.
to play football.
It is a great community that we have here. So it's a great thing we got going here, and we're gonna try and take it up to the next level.
We kind of get a few Balotelli players sometimes, so we gotta manage those aspects of them.
It happens. It happens all the time.
So have you got a mobile app that we can download?
Not at the moment.
Okay, get one though, eh?
Yeah, we kind of in the process of.
That'd be awesome. They're expensive.
That would
be.
It's expensive. But
we're getting there. Well, we're trying to find someone who's willing.
You guys got plenty of cash behind you. All the funding's good.
we're not at liberty to say.
Well, sure. I mean, I'm sure this is a fascinating concept. If anybody's listening, want to throw some cash away.
Actually, well, we kind of started this idea only 1 year ago, so we kind of been bootstrapping all the way to today.
Have you approached the FAS, or I don't know?
We did work with Sport Singapore, FAS. We do have some a conversation started, but then we kind of been leaning towards a private investor money rather than government money, because you're working with the government tends to get a little bit.
Hey, what you want to do, right, is get a superstar player to use your service. If I'm out of town, he's here for 2 weeks, right, as a marketing employee, and there could be the chance to play against, I don't know, Perlo or someone like that. If you're playing on Stranger
I think
Soccer.
I got to get in touch with Peter Lim from Valencia.
Yeah,
get like some Valencia superstars to play with us.
Yeah. Do you have anyone in mind for us, perchance?
Well, we had Kai on earlier. He wanted to bring out Ruud Gullit.
Wow, that would be quite a name. Yeah,
that would be awesome. I was quite lucky at ESPN actually, because they always brought out pundits to come and help us with the Premier League. So I've played with Brian Robson, Lee Sharp, Ian Rush, Peter Beardsley.
Wow.
So who's the best player you have ever played against so far?
Played with?
Yeah.
Or against?
Yeah.
Well, I'm not that good, bro, but
the best.
Well, the best thing ever happened. I was on the PAHANG.
Yeah.
And Brian Robson's put a ball down for me on the left-hand side. I managed to whip a cross in. I think we might have scored from it or went very close. As I trudged back to the halfway line, Brian Robson, former England captain, has turned around to me and gone, "Well played, Penders."
Take that all day.
All day. And Rushy as well. Hey, calm down, you calm down.
Doesn't say too much, does he, Rushy? Just grunts.
Bobby Robson came and coached us.
Ooh, how's that like?
Different class.
I like Ian Rush though.
Yeah. Big set. Oh, nearly a goal.
No.
The point is, there's no news in this game.
Just a pass.
Just a pass.
Absolutely nothing going on in this match.
Do we want to review our prediction?
Oh! Off the post. Off the crossbar.
Off the beans on.
What just happened there, James?
Lingard.
Yeah, a ball got chipped over the top, and I think it was Fellaini maybe who got onto it. He stuck a foot out, and it's gone against the bar. Good chance actually. He's made something out of nothing. To be fair, it was a difficult one.
Elsewhere, Tottenham are leading by 5-1. We didn't quite get that goal update, but we can go back to the stadium?
Vitality.
Liberty Stadium.
Well, it certainly is game over, you'd think, now at the Vitality Stadium, because it's Bournemouth 1, Tottenham 5, and Harry Kane has got a hat-trick. This is the easiest of all three of them, because it's a tap-in from just 3 yards out. A corner on the far side, swung in by Christian Eriksen. Alderweireld got ahead of his marker. A header towards goal, which Boruc should have dealt with better than he did. He just parried it out straight into the path of Eriksen, and he's poked it home from close range. 5-1 Bournemouth lost at Manchester City last weekend. They're now 5-1 at home behind against Tottenham. It's looking doom and gloom for Eddie Howe and his men, and Tottenham in dreamland. They're cruising at the moment.
Yeah, I had a bet with Alan Bentley before the game, didn't I? I gave him. It was quarter of a goal start to Bournemouth.
Yeah,
remember? Gave him half.
Yeah, that's right. He owes you the bite to eat, doesn't he?
He does. I could have given him 4.5.
Bowl of scouse.
Jeez. No Nonsense Sport has tweeted in. He says he has to congratulate Marcus Rojo on not being booked so far today. # cloaking device.
Yeah, that's pretty rare. Pretty rare.
So Tottenham leading Bournemouth. It's been a day that's seen Sunderland beat Newcastle. United and City are currently drawing goalless at Old Trafford, and Liverpool take on Southampton a little bit later on. We've been reviewing what's been happening today. Alan Bentley's been on the show. We've also been lucky enough to have Harrison and Andrew from Stranger Soccer along. So get along if you want a game of football. Try out the website. Get involved. It's just a good, inexpensive way to pick up game here and meet some friends.
Exactly,
and have a good time.
And also we also have a current promo that we're running for all listeners tuning in right now. So it's strangersoccer.com/promo. Sign up if you're a new user. You get $10 in your account. Can try a game for pretty much for next to nothing.
Yeah.
So come check it out.
And so just let me know, where are the centres again? Where do I play? Is it all over the country?
All over the country. So just go to the website. You have like a listing of all the different pitches that are available. Just pick a game, just sign up, and just fill your e-wallet, and you're good to go.
Brilliant.
Yeah.
Love to have you guys on the show. Also joining us, the program director for ESP's and James Gow. How's been here for what, a couple of months, 2-3 months?
Yeah, about two and a half months now.
Picked up the lingo yet?
Well, like I said last week, how you say la,
La.
in Singapore they say la la la, in Liverpool we say la la la.
Yeah, a lot of la going on. And how's your Mandarin?
It's coming along. I had to use it a couple of times last week because when I
happens?
speak, I'll order something. I'll go to I'll get a coffee or something.
Go on, tell us how you do it. Wow,
you order coffee, woman. I'll go over to you and I say, "Can I have a nice coffee, please?" And she'll say, "Huh?" It's like, "Can I have a nice coffee, please?" So I just go, Gateway Cafe. Okay, no problem.
That is actually pretty good. That's actually really bad Singlish because that's too many words. Yeah, you gotta shorten it. You honestly have to shorten it. That's
Gateway Cafe.
No, you just say copy.
Copy will do, yeah. Coffee's here.
Copy.
Somebody's give you a shot of adrenaline or something. As soon as you take one swig, you're up and you're ready to go.
Brilliant.
There's a lot of sugar in it. A lot of sugar.
A lot of sugar.
Yeah. Condensed milk, evaporated milk, all of that. Yeah.
$1.10 though.
Yeah, you can't complain.
It's not $7.50 Starbucks, is it?
50p or something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You still converting back? James spent like a couple of years in China, so his Mandarin's okay.
10 months.
10 months.
10 months. You have a Chinese girlfriend there?
No. I had
giving it open.
I had a translator, so I used to learn a little bit off him and stuff, but I used to just read my book and stuff. And
what if your girlfriend is a Everton fan?
Oh, it's never going to happen, mate. Not in a million years will it happen. Or United. Liverpool can do. Other than that, someone like Southampton I could do. I'd be happy with Southampton.
You're one of the best looking supporters in the land, Southampton girls. Supporters?
That's
true.
Never heard that
There's
before.
a recent poll. Look at it. Google it.
a poll of one.
Yeah, run by you. Yeah.
Population you.
No, Lucy Pinder. You know who she is?
Lucy Pinder. Oh, I know that. Oh yeah. She's got big bahoogas.
She has done. She does. Yeah. Hey, we're talking about what's been keeping you busy then, apart from ordering coffee and getting to know the lingo and stuff. And part of that is being the program director for, it's not a penalty, is it? Being the program director for ESP Zen. Actually, we had Harvey Davis on yesterday talking about the Elite Academy at JSSL. He's really bullish about it. Really bullish that we're going to see someone in the Premier League who's been trained here in Singapore.
Yeah, I think you've got to be hopeful. Yeah, definitely.
Chances, right? So how's you also run an elite program?
We have, we see, as I said, we see over 600 players a week, and we have one of our main programs, our soccer school program. So we have a lot of training sessions, and if you attend our training sessions more than twice a week, we have an academy program. So they join our two top teams, who will then play in the in various leagues. Most notably our one, which is the ESP's J League. So I mean, we try and create the environment for players to progress. We're not going to say to a player, okay, you're going to come to us and you're going to get into the Premier League. If it happened, it'd be unbelievable. But we have a set syllabus. We firmly believe in creating an environment for the player to develop holistically. They want to come to us. They don't just develop the football skills, but they develop how to, different values. They develop technically, tactically, physically. We really cater and think about everything that we deliver for the players. And there's a real thought process behind it. And if you go to a school, there's a syllabus on how you learn maths, English, and science. It's similar to what we follow. We have a set profile of the type of player that we want to develop, and we have a syllabus that adheres to that as well.
Okay, and does it cost me any money
to come and train? No, if you want to come and train with us, it will cost you. You can sign up for 13-week terms. However, we give you the option to come down for the trial, and by all means, anybody's free to come down for a trial. And if they enjoy it, then usually we have a really good retention rate. People come down for trials, and a lot of them will sign up on the spot because they've enjoyed the training.
Right, and if the player is good enough, you will then select him for this elite program.
No, well, as I said, we don't really have an elitist program. If you come and train twice a week, we have the option to play in one of our higher division teams, our academy teams, and you have to be trained with us at least twice a week to do that.
And you're seeing a lot of good Singapore youth coming through?
There's a lot. There is, and I was surprised by the standard of players. And
they're good, right?
Surprised?
Good,
right? Oh, come on.
Oh, come on.
For the country, for a relatively small country.
What
and a country that's developing football compared to the rest of lots of other parts of the world. I was really surprised, because I think that the culture's a lot different to what you'd have back in Europe. In Europe, I'll go to school, be in school 8:30 till 3 o'clock in the afternoon. I'll be playing football till 10 o'clock in the evening. And that's the difference back in Europe and in the countries where football's far more developed. Is they have that culture where you go home and you go and play. And it's slightly different because you're exposed to far more playing time. Of course, you're going to develop as a football. So I was surprised because there's a lot of commitment here for players that they come, and as you said before, there's lots of competition, which is only healthy for players in Singapore. So there's definitely potential, and I think the more football they play and the more good quality programs that they go to, they'll definitely develop.
And ESPZen's been around for some time now, right? And it's one of the respected brands. You guys would have heard of ESPZen coming into exactly.
I'm actually playing the 11 side weekly game.
Yeah, they have a whole host of leagues as well. We had adult leagues as well as our junior leagues, and they grew from having relatively small numbers, 10 players, to now we see over 600 players a week, and we have really good quality coaches. And one of our coaches will be watching the Manchester City game now. Robbie's from Manchester, and he's a big City fan. I told him they wouldn't win.
And getting good coaches is key here.
Definitely, I think it's all about the environment you create for players. If players come to train, they enjoy what they do, they're more receptive to learning.
What sort of training do you do then?
We focus a lot on creating competition within our sessions. I think, I've said a few times, is players want to play football because they enjoy that competitive element, but they also enjoy the social element. So, we have a real thought process behind what we put on. We do lots of 1v1 sessions. We really want to develop the touch and the ability to receive the ball under pressure and to work under pressure. So a lot of what we do is game related. You can watch a lot of sessions, and it's basic. Pass to that goal. We develop players in a game environment. We think players enjoy it more, but also in terms of skill retention and they learn far more in that type of environment as well.
Okay. Singapore in the World Cup in when? 20 when, boys?
3,200. I have to say this though. I would really love to see us put together a proper Singapore squad. A couple of years ago, the government's kind of trying to fast track progress, and they brought in a lot of imported players, and I didn't like the feeling of that. We had
even though you were winning.
I would rather lose with a kind of a born and bred Singaporean team. It's not that they can't be foreigners, but it's just they were here purely to play for our national team. They weren't here because for the money. They were.
Would you think that would help raise the standard of players? So if you bring better players into Singapore, I think it'll help the good and proper players.
I think raising the standard of the game requires grassroots investment, and I don't think the government has done that. They're just trying to basically buy success by bringing in these imports and saying, all right, we're going to pay you good money. And this is not exclusive to soccer. This happens for ping pong as well. No offense, ping pong. They brought players in, and it was all right, get us gold medals and we'll give you a bunch of cash. And that's just buying success. That's not really true development in the sport.
Getting the right mix seems important. I'm just looking at what they're doing in West Asia, for example, with the likes of Al Ahly buying in $15 million worth for Everton Ribeiro, and Lima arriving at the club as well. But then the FAS just brought in a new technical director, new youth development director as well.
Also I think there's the flip side to it as well. If they bring in good quality players from abroad, then you're a young player, you look at that player and he's a role model for you. You're thinking, well, I could get to be that level at some point, and that could be the trigger, and that could spark the motivation for the player. But like you said there, they brought in Michel Sablon, who was the head of the Belgium FA, and he's got huge credentials in football and huge experience. So I think his ideas will definitely help football in Singapore, and I can see him increasing a lot of contact time and creating a lot of programs for grassroots football.
Yeah, absolutely. Don't get me wrong. I'm not saying that we shouldn't tap on the expertise of other people and stuff like that. But it just felt a little bit like I got the impression that these players were brought in specifically to play for the national team, to win something for the national team. Full stop. I didn't get the impression that it was an actual investment in the infrastructure of soccer and
it was a quick fix kind of thing.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that's the impression I got. So
let's get the full-time reports from both games that kicked off at 5 minutes past 10. First up, let's get to the 6-goal. Well, I was going to say thriller. Anything with 6 goals, you normally say thriller. But Tottenham giving Bournemouth an absolute blasting.
Full-time score at the Vitality Stadium. It finished Bournemouth 1, Tottenham 5, 3-1 to the visitors at half-time. They went on to seal a comfortable victory in the second period. It was 4-1 on 56 minutes when Eriksen's cross on the left was poked home by Harry Kane, and then Kane sealed his hat-trick when he tapped in from a corner after the header from Alderweireld had been spilt again by Arthur Baruch. It could have been more. Another comprehensive win for Spurs, another comprehensive defeat for Bournemouth. It's finished 5-1 to Tottenham.
It was goalless at Old Trafford.
Manchester United 0, Manchester City 0. Certainly not a thriller, a game dominated by defensive central midfielders. Only sprang to life late on. United coming closest. Marshall's delicious chip ball forwards, volleyed onto the crossbar with the outside of Jesse Lingard's boot, and to Joe Hart making a fine save to deny Smalling after a cute knockdown from substitute Fellaini. Neither side particularly adventurous, neither side creating very many chances at all. I suspect neither side will be terribly disappointed.
Thanks very much to Will Turner. Right, that 3 hours is gone, boys.
Yeah.
Goes quick, eh?
Time flies. Yeah.
Yeah, unless it felt like 4 or 5 hours, then that's no good, is it?
I was looking forward to the 3 questions that you asked us to prefer. What happened to that?
I'll tell you what, well, we don't have to. I mean, the best thing about having your own show is you can just carry on, right?
That's true.
Do what you like. No show after, is there, Nick? No one's coming in after? Although I do want to rush off and watch Liverpool against Southampton.
Fair enough.
I'll tell you what we do. So we'll do one, because it's good that you prepared 3. Use your best one, and next time you're back on, you've got some backups,
Okay,
right?
sounds
perfect.
Okay,
Yeah.
so it's time to play. And we'll put this through the best one. We'll set this up nicely because we can put it as a little podcast during the week. All right. So
Sounds good.
Be on your best. Be on your best behaviour and your best form. It's time to play True or False.
It's time to play Pundit True or False with your host, Andy Penders.
Is it true or is it false? With me, Harrison Lim, Marketing Director of Stranger Soccer, Andrew Gann, the founder of Stranger Soccer, and James Gow, the Programme Director for ESPN. They will try and convince the other co-host today that their statement is either true or false. We kick off with Scouser James Gow.
Okay, this one's not very believable, but I was once a body double for Luis Suarez in a mobile phone advert.
Brilliant. James Gow says he was a body double for Luis Suarez.
Could you take a turnaround? Body double?
A couple of years ago.
Is this Luis Suarez, the football player?
Luis Suarez.
I would say true.
Why would you say true?
He looks a bit fat. I know Suarez recently.
Harrison, what do you think?
Cheers, Andrew.
False, hands down. It has to be false.
Yeah, I'm not having any
It's
of
a
that.
trick question.
Yeah.
It's a trick question. It has to be a trick
Is
question.
it true or false, James Gow?
It's true.
No! What happened? What's the story?
We had Liverpool. When I was working for Liverpool, we were sponsored by a mobile phone company in where was it? Mobile phone company in India. And they had Martin Skirtle, Raheem Sterling, Luis Suarez all were in to do an appearance. And Luis Suarez, I was there. I had to they needed somebody to test out the software and stuff like this. So I went to Kirk and test out like the biomechanics side of it. And then, so anyway, Luis Suarez had to get off early. It was the day before we were playing United actually. When Liverpool beat United 3-0 away a couple of seasons ago, and Suarez got off anyway. And he said, we didn't get the right shot for Suarez. He said, oh, you know what though, he's left his boots there and he's left his kit. Do you want to go and throw them on? So he scrolls into his boots, textbook kick, and he just put his head on my body. Nice. And he must have photoshopped some of it, and put some, took a bit of the muscle off of me and put it on Suarez or whatever. But
clutch. That's so clutch.
So you can see that the advert came out and I watched it in India. It was an Indian TV program, and you can see that it was me, just by the muscular physique more than anything. Yeah,
that's money right there.
But you're strawberry blonde. He's nowhere near.
Nobody put his head on mine.
Yeah, put all your hairs on the arms.
I don't know how they got away with it.
That's brilliant. Have you body doubled for anybody, Andrew?
No.
I've gotten people to body double for me before, but
are you sure?
Yeah, pretty sure.
Harrison, true or false? What's your statement to try and fool the boys?
I don't have anything as exciting as James's experience. But so okay, some soccer trivia. So Luis Suarez scored 50 goals for Liverpool in less games than it took Fernando Torres to reach the same number for the Reds.
Can you repeat the question again?
So Luis Suarez scored 50 goals for Liverpool.
Okay.
In less games than it took Fernando Torres to reach the same figure for the Reds.
Good one.
I'm going to go false.
Yeah, Torres was on
I'll
fire,
go false
wasn't
also.
You sure?
Yeah.
Absolutely true. Yeah, it's false. Suarez reached 1591 games, whereas Torres hit half a century in just 84 matches.
Wow.
84, yeah.
That's incredible. You forget how good he was for
He
that
was
Liverpool
really,
side.
really good.
Imagine if them two played together as well. Torres started to come back into a little bit of form when Suarez came in before he went to Chelsea, and then
Yeah, he did, didn't he?
and then he slumped. So I think it would have been exciting if the two of them played together. But
And the thing about Suarez is that he plays really well with a partner. Like he's not a selfish kind of player.
Exactly.
He's really good.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Good stat. I love that one, Harrison. Andrew, true or false? What's your statement?
I have a football trivia question here. Other than Barcelona, Real Madrid is the other Spanish team to have ever completed the Champions League treble. True or false?
What is the Champions League treble?
So you have your domestic FA Cup, for example,
League and Cup.
your domestic league and the Champions League.
So a proper treble.
So you have to win. Sorry, Champions League, domestic league,
And your domestic cup.
And the domestic cup.
So
Okay.
yeah, your typical treble. Yeah.
So they're the only other team to win it.
So other than Barcelona, Real Madrid is the only other Spanish team to
Okay.
have completed.
So we're talking either Deportivo. Sorry, we're talking Valencia,
Valencia have won it? No.
Sevilla. Have they? Sevilla?
I don't think so. Has Valencia won the
Valencia won
European
it.
Cup?
They beat
So wait, hang on.
UEFA
So
Cup?
UEFA Cup?
Wait, does it have?
It has to be Champions League.
Yeah.
Wait, does it have to
That was
happen? Wait,
UEFA
I'm
Cup,
confused. Does
wasn't
it have
it,
to
no?
happen all in the same season, or
Yeah.
just like?
Yeah, it has
oh,
to be. It has
well,
to be.
if that's the case, then no one has won it before besides Barcelona. I'm pretty sure.
No, I'm not having that.
I don't think Real Madrid has won the treble before. I don't
Okay,
think
and
so.
Atletico Madrid have won it, haven't they?
No, I don't think so.
No, I don't
the
know.
treble is pretty rare.
No,
Like,
they've won. I mean, they've won the Champions League, but they haven't won.
They've not won the treble before. I'm like fairly certain.
Okay, I'm gonna go.
Gonna go false.
True. Oh no, sorry, yeah.
Hell yeah, I don't know. Are you saying that there could be more clubs, or there could be no other clubs, or
it could be Real Madrid.
Or just
didn't-
be Real Madrid.
So
Real
only Real
Madrid
Madrid
didn't
and
even win the
Barcelona.
treble.
It's
should it be better phrase? Did Real Madrid has Real Madrid won a Champions League treble?
You can phrase it that way.
Okay.
You can phrase it that way.
So no other Spanish club apart from Real Madrid could put. Okay.
Yeah, I'm gonna say that's false.
Well, they won the Champions League, European Cups 10 times, right?
Yeah, that's right. That's right.
Decimal.
But remember back when Manchester United won the treble? Like that was the first of its kind. Like so, that was like
Boom, there you go. So
that
no,
was really
false.
recent. That was like 98, 99. So
Yeah, false.
False. False is the right answer.
Well,
So
yeah.
Barcelona is the only one to have won the Champions League treble. You guys want to make a crack at the other teams that done it? You have 7 other clubs.
Wow.
7 other clubs.
wait, they have done the treble?
Yeah, that's right. That's right.
Well, Liverpool
we have
doesn't
one
count
from
because that's the
Bayern
League
Munich.
Cup.
Yeah, that's right.
Bayern Munich,
Juventus.
Inter Milan,
Juventus, no.
Inter Milan.
Inter, yes.
Porto.
Porto, no.
Oh come on.
Hmm.
Borussia Dortmund.
No.
Oh.
Ajax.
Yeah, that's right.
Okay.
Ajax. Another one in the same country.
PSV.
That's right.
PSV. They won the treble.
Juventus.
No.
What? They won the treble.
You can't
One
go
more.
the
Celtic.
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 1968.
1967. Yeah.
67.
You can't have that as the Champions League.
European Cup.
European Cup.
Okay.
Because during the 60s there is a Champions League, so European Cup kind of qualifies as the Champions League.
Yeah, nice. Good true or false section, guys. I think James wins, though, don't he? James win, body doubling for Lewis. Right?
Pretty
This
much,
question
yeah.
tops everybody.
That's it. Thanks for playing true or false, everyone. And that's just that nice clean bit for the edit there, Nick. Do you like that? Thanks a lot for coming on tonight, guys. Really enjoyed your company. Please do come and drop a by and say hello once again. It's been James Gow, Harrison Lynn and Andrew Gann all appearing on the show. Thanks for your company as well. We're back again next week. Anything else I need to say, Nick?
Oh well, just that the clocks have changed. So next Saturday's show is
yeah.
at 8. Starts at 8
We've got
instead
to
of
change
7.
so much collateral. You go out marketing this gear 7 till 10, and all of a sudden it's 8 to 11.
Because daylight savings.
Daylight savings.
Daylight savings. Yeah.
Grim in England now for the next 6 months. Grim. Anyway, it's not grim in the studio. We'll see you next week, everyone. Thanks for joining in. Bye.
It's a red card.
And he should get 2 red cards. That's got the red card.
Red Card Sports Radio, the best sports station in Asia.
Well, it had been suggested that a defeat for Aston Villa against Swansea may be the final straw for the Villa board and Tim Sherwood might lose his job. He promised a victory in the pre-match press conference, but in the end his side went down to a 2-1 defeat after a late goal from Andre Ayew. The first half at Villa Park was instantly forgettable. Lots of huffing and puffing and plenty of endeavour from both sides without too many clear-cut opportunities, the best of which came on 13 minutes, and it fell to Fernandes, the Swansea centre-half, who volleyed over from 8 yards out after Batafimi Gomi had headed down John Joe Shelvey's corner. 0-0 then at the break, and Villa showed real intent in the early stages of the second half. Gabriel Agbonlahor curling an effort just wide of the far post just a minute after half-time. But the crucial moment it appeared to be on 62 minutes when Villa broke the deadlock. Less than 60 seconds earlier at the other end, Swansea had been denied when Andre Ayew's volley on the stretch from just 10 yards out forced an excellent diving save from Brad Guzan. Villa then picked up the ball, broke at the other end. Jack Grealish down the right-hand side switched the play to the left to find Agbonlahor, and his inch-perfect cross found Jordan Ayew unmarked to the back post, who headed into the far corner to break the deadlock. But Swansea, credit to them, they've not been in good form of late, but they reacted excellently, and 6 minutes later they equalised. Gylfi Sigurdsson won the free kick himself, contentious maybe for a slight push by Mika Richards, but nothing contentious about the finish. A fantastic 25-yard curling free kick from the Icelandic international, which fired its way into the top corner. The game was on a knife edge for the final 20 minutes, although Swansea, with the impetus, always did look more likely to get a winning goal, and it eventually came just 3 minutes before the end. Kyle Norton delivering a perfect cross across the Aston Villa penalty area, and 6 yards out, Andre Ayew, not to be denied, and looking to outdo his younger brother, prodded in from close range under the body of Brad Guzan to seal the victory. A much needed win for out-of-form Swansea, yet more problems for Tim Sherwood and Aston Villa. It finished Aston Villa 1, Swansea 2.
Norwich against West Brom went pretty much to script. Certainly went to Tony Pulis' script. His side chalked up yet another clean sheet, their 16th under his charge. They pinched a very good away goal, could have had others as well, and by the end of the 90 minutes had Norwich chewing their fingernails, scratching their heads and wondering why on earth they'd bothered getting out of bed. Norwich, he sensed, could have gone on till Christmas without finding a way past Bo Myhill, who in truth barely had a save to make all afternoon. In contrast, John Ruddy made 2 highly photogenic saves either side of half-time, and of course was beaten just after the break. You have to say Rondon's thumping header at the far post, not in surprise because he'd missed with a markedly similar chance earlier on. The first half also saw McLean and Brunt go close, and Rondon equally headed over. Almost a carbon copy of the goal itself, so you cannot say that Norwich weren't warned. But over the course of the piece there was the growing sense that Norwich are a club developing a few Premier League issues. Yet to keep a clean sheet. They conceded easily here this afternoon and could easily have conceded more. The fact that they only conceded 1 is hardly cause for celebration, even after last weekend's demise. But the fact that for all their possession and all the fact that they had the clear attacking edge in the game in terms of Matt Jarvis's ability to get past Craig Dawson time and time again. The fact that he was unable to get decent ball into the box, and he wasn't the only one in truth in a green and gold shirt, but Jarvis was the standout sinner as Norwich really failed to make anything of their abundant possession in the final third. I've got only 3 chances recorded in the 90 minutes. For a home side chasing the game for basically 45 minutes, that really isn't good enough. No excuses for Norwich. They had a couple of no-shows, and Bakani was largely static in front of goal. Cameron Jerome came on late on. They lost Houlihan, who'd started brightly but faded as the game wore on. Nathan Redmond flitted and fluttered but couldn't make much of an impact. And as I say, Jarvis wasted an awful lot of really great clear-cut crossing opportunities. Yet to keep a clean sheet and struggling for goals at the same time is really not a winning equation. As far as Tony Pulis and company are concerned, well, they'll just sail off into the sunset smiling in their beguiling way and carry on about their very industrious business. No great thrills and spills, a really solid defensive unit, and as I say, the ability to cause problems particularly from the left-hand side, and just enough attacking devil to punish Norwich for their shortcomings, of which in truth there were quite a few.
Well, it's all over at the Britannia Stadium, and it's finished Stoke 0, Watford 2. Maybe a surprising result, considering the two sides' contrasting form going into this one. The Potters headed into the fixture on the back of 3 successive Premier League victories. Watford, in contrast, were without a win in 3. Now, Stoke started fairly strongly, but they were dealt an early blow. That's when Jeff Cameron had to go off inside the opening 10 minutes with a thigh injury. His replacement was Mark Wilson. That seemed to leave the defence slightly disjointed. The Potters did go on to have a decent chance after about 20 minutes or so. A cross coming in towards the informed Marko Arnautovic. He got his head on it, but he sent it over the crossbar. Then it was the Hornets' turn to threaten. First, Odion Ighalo hit the crossbar with a header. On the rebound, the ball came to Ben Watson. He couldn't get the ball away himself, but he did lay it off to Troy Deeney, and it looked for all the world as if he was going to score, but he smashed the underside of the crossbar. Indeed, Deeney was running away to celebrate what he thought was his first Premier League goal. He did manage to get his first Premier League goal, though, before the half was up. That was on 43 minutes after great work again from Odion Ighalo down at the left-hand side. Ighalo played the ball into Deeney, and crucially there was a slip from Philip Walshide. That allowed Deeney the time and space to fire the ball beyond Jack Butland. Stoke started the second half fairly brightly, but again without really troubling, and they were masters of their own downfall. Wilson dwelt on the ball for too long. Ighalo came and picked his pocket, just laid it off to Ahmed Abdi. Abdi raced forward and fired the ball home from the edge of the area. There was possibly a chance Butland could have done better, but I feel it would be harsh really to fault the goalkeeper. It was a fantastic strike from Abdi, and Watford were 2-0 ahead and cruising. Stoke huffed and puffed and tried to get back into the game. Mark Hughes, the manager, brought on Peter Crouch and John Walters in a double substitution for Xherdan Shaqiri and Joselu, but it proved to be to no avail, and Watford ran out worthy winners. A vital 3 points for the men from Vicarage Road, and they actually leapfrogged Stoke up to 13th in the Premier League table. They're a point ahead of the Potters now. Full-time Stoke 0, Watford 2, and a deserved 3 points for Quique Sanchez Flores' men.
Real Madrid have moved 3 points clear at the top of the La Liga table with a 3-1 victory away at Celta Vigo, although they had it far from all their own way in the match at the Balaidas. They did start positively. Danilo shot wide in the opening minutes of the game from 25 yards with a rasping drive, but didn't have to wait long to get the goal. Good play by Lucas Vazquez down the right-hand side. He squared the ball into the box, and there was Cristiano Ronaldo to finish in emphatic fashion from 12 yards. Real had the advantage, and they looked the better side for the majority of the first period. Although as the half wore on, Celta Vigo started to get into the game. Orellana had a drive from 18 yards, well saved by Navas, and then Johnny Castro hit a shot which was also well saved by the Costa Rican, who was having a good game. Real then doubled their advantage. Hesse was the provider. He held the ball up well before finding Danilo on the right-hand side in acres of space. It was a theme for the game, really. Celta Vigo were not good defensively in the left-back area, and Danilo finished smartly from 18 yards past Sergio Alvarez. Celta Vigo came close to pulling a goal back before the interval. It was Nolito who was brilliant throughout the contest. He broke into the penalty area in superb fashion, squared the ball to Iago Aspas, and his shot was superbly saved by Keylor Navas. Into the second half, and the game was end-to-end once again. Orellana had a curling 20-yard effort in the opening minute of the half, which went just wide, before Lucas Vazquez for Real Madrid broke forward, beat his man Cabral, and then tried a delicate little chip over the top of Alvarez when he should have finished in more clinical fashion. Really should have been a goal which could have wrapped up the points. Then what seemed the turning point in the contest, Cabral, who'd already been booked in the first half, picked up a second yellow. It seemed very harsh. He pulled back Sergio Ramos, who immediately stopped, turned to the referee, claimed for the yellow card, and the referee duly obliged. Cabral was sent off, and Aspas and Hernandez were also booked in the melee, as Celta felt very aggrieved. Ronaldo could have then made it 3-0 for Real. He shot smartly from 14 yards that Alvarez made a good save, and he made it an even better save, the stopper from Isco just a few minutes later. The substitute's 25-yard drive seemed destined for the top corner, but Alvarez got a big right palm to the ball and tipped it onto the crossbar. Then with 10 minutes to go, Celta Vigo seemed to re-galvanise themselves, and Nolito was the main architect. He broke into the penalty area in fortuitous fashion. He delayed his shot before smartly hitting the ball between the legs of Keylor Navas, who seemed destined to be finally beaten, only for Marcelo to clear the ball off the line. Nolito did eventually get his goal with 4 minutes to play. A brilliant strike it was as well, 25 yards into the top corner, in off the crossbar. Navas completely stranded. There was nothing he could do about that.
Celta pushed and pushed after that, and with 5 minutes of stoppage time, they thought they might be able to grab an unlikely equaliser, but they had to end that hope when Marcelo wrapped up the points in the last minute of stoppage time. He finished neatly with a lot of space on the left-hand corner of the penalty box. So it finished Celta Vigo 1, Real Madrid 3.
Enter a new generation of sports. Red Card Sports Radio.
These are your latest Manchester City headlines. Still a big injury list for Manuel Pellegrini ahead of Sunday's Manchester derby away at Old Trafford against United. David Silva, Sergio Aguero, Sami Nasri, Fabian Delph